Where the dog shit on your head. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Get up. May 28th, Memorial Day week. The beginning of the summer is really June 21st, but fuck it. That's what they say. Thank you very much for listening to Sunday Night Special. Keep hitting that motherfucker, Lee. It's Wednesday, cocksucker. You got to shake El Diablo. The Saratiana podcast, we thought it's something different. We always like doing something different. It don't have to be jumping up and down. I wanted to get a little women's love in the office, a little women's perspective. I want to thank her for coming on. I also want to congratulate Nailed It Life, David, Alonzo, and Pete. I love you guys up there. You guys do a great job with the Vapor Pen, and Los Gumis and Mano for welcoming a new family member, a new fucking Cuban. That's what we need. The world needs another fucking Cuban. You know what I'm saying? The world needs another Cuban like they need another fucking Jew, Lee. You follow me? We don't need no more fucking Jews and no more fucking Cubans. We got to trim the herd on the Jews we got and rebuild.
What? No.
We got to rebuild again.
How
we got to trim the herd.
That?
There's a lot of worthless motherfuckers walking around with sandals, looking around. Let's go home and play ping pong. We got to get the Jews back to the day one.
What do you want Jews doing all day?
Out there suing people, looking for holes, making opportunities, fucking, you know. Torturing people, telling people they can't bring black people to games, you know. Jews forget who the fuck they are with this new, like everybody else in this society. They forget who the fuck they are.
We should try to get them on the show.
They want to be who? A mean Jew?
Yeah. No, with Sterling. We should get Sterling on the show.
Fuck that old man. He's probably pissed. I love to get Sterling on the show, to listen to him backpedal. He loves black people.
No. What you would do is you would just start like saying, like agreeing with him and get him going. Like, give him, like, 2 of these and just get him going about black people.
Just tell him I hate fucking black people. They got dry feet. You know, the whole fucking thing. You know, just get them Hindus, too. Fucking everybody. Lee motherfucking Syatt. What's happening, brother? You walked yesterday.
Yeah. No, I'm trying, and it's just... I'm trying to decide, or... I honestly don't know what I'm waiting for. You ever... When you started losing weight, did you ever have that moment where, like I'm trying to... Like, part of me, like, maybe I should get a bike. Maybe I should join the gym. And it's just... I should just do it and break down, but it's just...
What do you like, Lee?
Biking. I like that a lot.
Biking. So are you going to get a bike and drive around fucking Hollywood? That's what you're telling me? You're going to put a helmet on you like one of those fucking Strutzes?
They have that... What I've been thinking about is they have that path on Chandler.
You're not going to do it, so forget about it. You're not, if I put a pork chop out for you and said, walk over here, I got a pork chop for you, you wouldn't walk. So forget about it. That's getting the bike and getting the bike trail and putting the helmet on and going to Chandler. Hopefully it's a nice day. You know, there's so many variables. That's why I tell you to walk.
Yeah.
You want to start with the most easiest common denominator. I like these people that, well, I joined this gym in Pasadena. Wait a second. You have a hard time going to fucking Ralph's to go shopping.
Yeah.
Well, they gave me a deal. I'm telling you, that's an hour there and an hour back. You're not going to make it happen. It's 3 hours. You need something at first that's easy. That's why I get the kettlebells and I don't move my car. Because they're in the trunk of my car. So I go down there.
Gym mogul.
And if I get in a fucking mess. When I first wanted to lose weight, the first time was after the longest yard. And I went across the street and I was totally out of shape. I was smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
3 packs?
Yeah, I was doing 2 and probably 1 or 2 packs when I got Coke.
Oh my God.
I would get another 2 packs of Camels. They used to come with a promotional. If you buy one, you get one free.
Yeah.
I would smoke every fucking cigarette. That's when I go to bed.
Jesus.
Guys, you have no fucking idea. If I go back to 2005, you have no fucking idea what I was doing on a Monday night. You figure, okay, my week consists of 7 days, okay?
Okay.
Like everybody else. My main goal every day is to write 1 hour a day. On my schedules, it's just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. First thing you see is write 1 hour a day.
Okay.
Like for today, you would see write 1 hour. And then you'd see podcast at 6 a.m. And then you'd see audition at 4 and live podcast at 8.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't have a schedule back then. I didn't even have a notebook. I would just get up and my days were a cappella. If I wrote comedy, I wrote comedy. If I didn't write, I didn't write comedy. I made notes with a notebook. But it wasn't that. It was how I was living. I was getting up, eating breakfast, and then eating another breakfast out. I was doing everything to avoid working out. If you would call me and say, hey, Joey, let's go eat lunch. I can't work out. Me and Lee are going to talk about the podcast. You know, I gave myself excuses. And listen, man, that's everybody. We all give ourselves excuses. Like I said, I treated that YMCA. I moved in with Terry in 2000 and until 2005. It took me 5 years. You know where the Honda dealer is?
Yeah.
That was where the Y was.
Yeah, you showed me. Yeah.
I showed you. I wouldn't cross the street, Lee. I thought the devil lived there. There was battered women were there. That's why I said there's battered women. It's not a gym. I would tell myself that. Finally, Lee, you go to events. I would go with Rogan and these young guys, and I couldn't even walk from the fucking airport. I remember Tate Fletcher carrying my luggage and picking me up. I'm not lying to you people here. I'm not kidding you people. These were my friends. Rogan would park the car far away, so I would have to walk. I would be pissed at him.
Oh,
because it was a nightmare. I would go to hotels and sit in the room the whole time. They would work out. They would go swimming. I would meet them to go in the pool, and I would do a couple laps. And I always had my own workout. They would go, come with us. No, I'm going to do my own workout. My workout was sitting in my room and stretching. That was it. These guys were offering me my help. I had Eddie Bravo, Joe Rogan, Tate, Ari. They were all going, come downstairs. We'll teach you jiu-jitsu. No. And I just avoided it because I was embarrassed. My body, the shape I was in. I remember Brody Stevens used to go, Joey Diaz has the body of a 50-year-old man. When I was 32 years old, I was just out of fucking breath, between the cigarettes, the blow, the fucking weed, it just took its toll. But my whole thing was food. I loved fucking food, man. We all love food.
Yeah.
But it wasn't love for food. It was just gluttony.
Yeah, you're never happy after you do it. Like, you don't feel full.
No, because you didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. It was, and I'm not kidding you. I would make my wife make breakfast. Let's make breakfast. All you need to do is give my wife a green light. Especially to fry. She'll fry anything at a New York fucking minute. She's from the South, bro. They'll fry fucking anything. Bread. Those fucking people fry beans. They'll fry anything. I talked to the father yesterday. He was frying up something. They fry up shit. Okay, so she would fry up, I'd say 3 eggs. I'd get a whole loaf of Wonder Bread and get a tub of butter and just put it on the white bread and get the egg yolk and put it on the bread and eat it. And I would eat 3 of those eggs. We'd kill a pack of bacon.
Jesus.
And a half a loaf of bread and 3 cans of Coke.
Oh, my God.
And then I would wait now, I'd get high again, and then I'd go to McDonald's before 11 and get the Egg McMuffin, the potato, and the Coke again. I remember one night the bartender at the fucking comedy store said, you drank like fucking 10 Cokes tonight. One time at the Miami Improv, the owner of the club came over to me. He goes, you drank 16 Cokes tonight from the bar. Like 16 fucking Cokes at night. There was no water in my life then. I wouldn't even consider drinking fucking water. Water was beneath me.
Yeah.
And it's just this pattern you get into. It's an
yeah.
avoidance. And that's to a point where you're putting clothes on, they don't fit no more. You feel like shit. When you go to get up, you feel like shit. It's just this whole continuing down spiral. It sucks you in. And then, most of America does not understand. They don't even know where to start.
Right.
America, listen, we don't know where to start.
We all do. Like, I was talking to Rick the other night. Like, you've said it before. Like, I know if I wanted to lose weight, I should eat salads and I should work out. It's just, for me, it's, the pattern is I've never done it. And then, so it seems scary. And then it's so much easier not to do it. Like, that's...
No, it's not. Because it carries over into your whole life.
It does. Yeah.
Ever since I started doing this, it catches on. You catch on. And nothing happens in one day. Nothing. Rome was not built in a day. You have an extra 100 pounds on your body. You didn't just put it on overnight. Right. You just didn't wake up. So it's going to take time. And that's the killer. Time is the killer with everything in our lives.
Yeah, I almost got tricked again, and I had to stop myself from ordering it. I don't even watch it, but have you seen Pawn Stars? Like the guys in Vegas who own that pawn shop?
Yeah.
Apparently one of them was really big, and he lost a lot of weight. And Men's Health had this whole thing I saw on Facebook. He took this pill for 3 months and lost 70 pounds without working out. And part of me was like, oh, they found it. But
they found nothing.
Yeah.
They found nothing because everything is a shortcut in America. We all know shortcuts don't work. We all know as human beings that shortcuts don't work. After a while, after you're like 20-something, you go, wow, they don't fucking work, okay? None of that shit works. What I'm going to do, and what Weight Watchers taught me, before Dolce, before anybody, that's why I'm so loyal to Weight Watchers. It was Weight Watchers, and it was Rick and I who walked into Weight Watchers. Mm-hmm. And Rick and I, it works. It works. Listen, man, it's been 4 years, and I've kept 75 pounds off, okay? I put on 50 pounds. I lost like 125 fucking pounds. Ask Rick. and here's what the problem was. When I first walked into Justin Fortune's gym, it was Justin Fortune who said to me, Joey, the party's over. I saw you walking into your car. You know, Justin does have no shortage of words.
Yeah.
There's no light niceness from Justin. Justin at the time was Pacquiao's boxing coach. And I would buy weed next door. And he would see me walk into the car and out of the car. And I'd walk over, say hello. But as soon as he'd tell me walk in the gym, I always had to do something.
Yeah.
Joey, when are you going to come to the gym? Walk around, hit the bag. No. Finally, I met a guy from Boston. His name was Macca Foley, who I spoke to yesterday. He's in New York training James Franco right now.
Oh, wow.
Mac is a bad motherfucker. Mac is one of my closest friends in L.A. I talk to Macca 3 times a week on the phone about the bag. Yesterday, we talked about shadow boxing. He spoke to me about shadow boxing, the importance of shadow boxing. He's 68, and he shadow boxes an hour a day.
Jesus.
Okay, so you understand me?
Yeah.
It's all, when you talk to those guys, you're like, what?
You sound stupid for not having time.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. He does sit-ups, he does push-ups. So he trains people during the week at Macca Foley's. You go down there and you give him $20. He'll train you for 6 rounds. In the thing, you hit the fucking bag with him. He teaches you how to punch. He teaches you how to fucking parry. I mean, it's a great thing because working out, you learn. My dick gets hard when I learn. I don't care what I'm learning about. If you take the time out of your day to teach me something, that means the world to me, So he would talk to me every day and go, Joey, you're putting on the pounds. I remember at this time I would weigh myself on the scale, and I couldn't even weigh myself. The scale stops at 350.
Oh, Jesus.
I would have to go to like a cattle house to fucking weigh. I'm not kidding you. But I know at 350 the scale would go ding, ding, which meant there's no hope. There was no hope. And I finally went to a heart doctor who had the scale. And I remember him looking at me going, he goes, you're 418. And I remember I couldn't even make eye contact.
Yeah.
I couldn't even make eye contact.
It must have been, did you ever think about just like, all right, it's over, I'll just eat until I die? Or what?
No, I knew I didn't want to die. I knew at that point that this had to end somewhere.
Yeah,
I had gotten off the coke. I outlived the coke.
Okay, at that point you're off the coke?
I just outlived the coke. So when that doctor told me I had a strong heart, he goes, your heart is very strong. So what I did was I went to Justin's and I would hit the bag. Macca Foley goes, I don't want you to do nothing. I want you to do nothing. I want you to stretch a little bit, and I want you to stand in front of the bag, and I want you to punch the bag like this, and I'm going to stop you every once in a while. And I would have to stop after 15 seconds. 15 seconds of punching, I would have to stop. And I would have to wear 2 pair of underwear. Two, Lee, because I would pee my pants. I still pee my pants.
Yeah, because when you were walking. Yeah.
A little bit, or I got to fucking piss real quick if I catch my breath. I'm not lying to you people. I have no reason to lie to nobody. And I would punch the bag, and I did that for like 6 weeks. And I lost weight, but I didn't lose the sufficient amount of weight that I thought I would lose. It's fucking hard.
You want to lose like 50, 60 pounds.
I want to lose 50 pounds in a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would lose 3 pounds. And that 3 pounds or 1 pound. But I didn't understand that dieting was everything. And that Christmas, like I was working out with Macca maybe a month. And I did go on a diet. I ate 1 cheeseburger instead of 4. I ate 1 egg, 2 eggs instead of 5, shit like that. And then I read something. I read that they did a study that Americans could work out all day long, but if they didn't diet, they wouldn't lose any weight. And I knew they were talking about me.
Yeah.
I knew they were. We live in an age now where you go on the internet. I had a friend that's very heavy, and she called me up one day and she goes, I overheard in one of your things that you're doing kettlebells. She goes, I bought a 10-pounder and I do them in my house. And I go, how'd you learn? And she goes, I go online and I found this one web page that really broke it down for me. It's a beginner web page. So you put the weight between your legs, you stretch, the stretches before. People are very embarrassed. It takes a certain person to go to a Y and work out. But what you're going to find is, years ago, Christy Miller was a comic out of New York. She's still out of New York. Sweet girl that used to hang out in the store. This was way before I ever dreamed of. And it's a funny story, but it's not. It just goes to show you that there's human compassion in the gym. There really is. So what you think is going to happen to you in the gym, those days are over with.
Yeah.
When you walk into a gym, after a week, people look at you different, and they gain respect for you. They'll come up to you and go, hey, man, thanks for coming in. And you're like, well, I'm doing 3 minutes on the Stairmaster. I'm dying. Because they're telling you they've been there. So the first thing, Dice used to get on me. Dice and Steve Simone.
Really?
Did you know that?
Wow.
Dice always got on me. Always. Always. And he got on me as a friend. Joey, what the fuck? You're getting bigger than the stage. Joey, what the fuck? You got to work. Why don't you come work out with me in the cage? You know. And it just, you know, people help you. People love you. So they say little things to you. And sometimes you get mad because you're like, who the fuck are you? But they love you. Or they've been there. They've been there. Once somebody's been there, you got to listen to that person. You got to take them aside and go, listen, no more war between me and you. What do I got to do? And they'll tell you, Joey, do that. You get people that go, oh, you got to climb a mountain. And no. Those are the people that fail as personal trainers because they're putting, so you got to read the person's psychology. You're not going to have him running fucking sprints if he hasn't worked out in 3 years. Their bones hurt. When you weigh 10 pounds overweight, your bones hurt. Yeah. If you go for a long walk, your feet hurt. Yeah. You know, so you got to start slow. You know, you got to look at everybody's different. Every fucking body is different. What works for Lee isn't going to work for Joey, and what works for Joey isn't going to work for Timmy. What works for anybody. It's just really fucking scary. And when I read that article, I remember Marilyn Martinez. For some reason, she pushed Weight Watchers, and I had a friend in Denver who was huge. When I first did comedy, this guy wouldn't come to my comedy shows because he was embarrassed. And he told me one time. But his wife talked him into going to Weight Watchers, and he became a marathon runner.
Wow.
And today, this guy is a fucking rail. He eats protein. Because Weight Watchers, you know, when I went to the county jail, I used to go to jail all the time. And I noticed when I got out of jail, even though I ate chocolate at night and potato chips, I lost weight. When you get out of jail, like county jail, people are like, dog, you tightened up a little bit. Yeah, because
portions are small?
Portions are small. Okay. And your body adjusts to them. You know, when we go to Roma, you could go to Roma and get 2 sandwiches, macaroni and cheese, roasted peppers, and 2 sodas. Well, I give you 1 sandwich with no sides, and you'll get just as full. Yeah. If you really think about it. And that's what they do. They slow you down. You know, till this day, for breakfast, I eat 1 egg with 1 piece of wheat toast. I could use, America wants 2 eggs. Mm-hmm. Go 1 egg. You'll be full. If you scramble that egg and cut, there's a piece of ham. There's a piece of ham you buy at the supermarket. Okay. You cut that in half. It's a point. Let's say Weight Watchers gives you 44 points a day. It's a point for a half a piece of ham. So you fry that ham. You make 1 egg. 1 egg is 2 points. So that's 3 points. And an English muffin is 2 points. So for 5 points, you ate breakfast. It's not the breakfast you're used to eating. Right. That's why you got to eat it with fruit. You got to devour fucking a pineapple or a cantaloupe or a watermelon or 2 apples and then drink a gallon of fucking water. For me, it was Coca-Cola that was killing me. So I went to Diet Coke. Not the healthiest choice, but for then it worked.
That's a start. Yeah.
That's what people understand. For now, it works. Well, you don't know what you're doing to you. It works for now. You have no idea what I was fucking drinking. Yeah. Okay, so I'm drinking 3 Diet Cokes and water instead of 16 solid Cokes a day. Shut your fucking mouth. Okay, so I'll glow in the dark for a few months. Who gives a fuck? Mind your fucking business. Because it's all sacrifices. It's all little sacrifices. It's the same thing with life, man, with this. And you do it every day. That's the thing. When I wake up in the morning, what do I put? Namaste, motherfuckers. I know you're bored with that stupidity. And I know you're bored with the church. And I know you're bored with, hey, wash your dick. I do it to show you people that you have to do something every fucking day. You know, I don't tweet on the weekends, but Monday through Friday, I'm on there. My day every fucking day is the same thing. Once I went to Weight Watchers, I went with Rick. And that really changed things. I realized that when you go to Roma, you get when you go to Subway, you get a foot long with the bag, and you get the soda. You go to foot long, you get a 6-inch with a cup of soup and a green tea, you accomplish the same thing. That's what you learn. Instead of eating 2 steaks with a baked potato, you eat a half a steak with a salad. That's all they want you to do. Number 2, eating out is done. Yeah. That's the thing. Eating out is done. Going on a diet is not a diet. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle for the better. I'm still a fat fuck, but my lifestyle is 100% better. I go to physicals. I get a finger put up my ass. I fucking now they got to put a tube. You don't got to send shit in the mail to a doctor now. Why? Did you know that when you hit 50? And I thought that was a joke. I thought it was a fucking joke. About 6-7 months ago, I get a call from Kaiser when my wife had Kaiser insurance because I was on Kaiser's insurance. Yeah. And I was on Screen Actors Guild insurance. I get a call from fucking Kaiser, and they're like, hey, man, This is Dr. Such and Such. We recently in our records, you turned 50. We're going to put a cup in the mail. We'd like for you to put feces in there and mail it back. I thought it was like Lee playing with me. I'm like, all right, whatever, send it to me. A fucking week later, I got a cup in the mail. I looked at this cup, and they're like, shit in the cup. It gave you the instructions. I'm like, I'm not shitting no cup. They called me again. We never received a cup of your feces in it. What the fuck? Why you want my shit for? I'm going to mail you a fucking cup full of shit. So then when my wife quit her job, they stopped calling, so I have to shit in the cup. Well, the other day I went for a physical, and they said to me, Joey, by the way, when you're 51, you have to do this colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Where they stick a camera up your dick hole or something.
Your asshole, yeah.
Your asshole, and they put you out. Fuck you. You're going to put me out and put something in my ass? That's called rape where I'm fucking from. You know what I'm saying? You want to put something up my ass, I want to watch it. Yeah. Fuck you. You're going to put something in my ass when I'm passed. I got to take my wife. Then I'm thinking I got to take my wife to a ceremony where they're going to put a camera up my fucking ass while I'm passed out. Fuck it. But you got to do it. They test you now for hepatitis B if you're over 50, between certain ages. And the doctor told me, he goes, and something else, you got to shit in a cup. And I was like blown away. This last week, because this doctor's my main man, Dr. Wax. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, yeah, you got to shit in a fucking cup. You don't have to shit in a cup. You got to read the thing, what you could eat and what you can't eat. Then you got to shit and you scrape a little bit off and then mail it to us and we'll take care of it. I got the envelope staring at me. I put it on my bulletin board. I've been thinking about shit in a fucking cup all week. But that's health. What are you going to fucking do? I got insurance. They offered to me. I got to do it. The worst thing for me to come and tell you I got colon fucking cancer.
I need to come over and film that whole process.
Okay, I'm gonna let you.
Just seeing it and then then the cup falls over.
We're gonna do it. No, this isn't a cup. I gotta scrape it and put it with a spoon on like an envelope, and they're gonna put it under a microscope and look at my shit. In this fucking day and age, somebody wants to look at your shit. That's like the crystal ball of the future to see what's up your asshole. But it's the first step in anything is rough. This morning in the shower, I was thinking about when I first moved here and the guys I hung out with. And every Saturday, they celebrated something. Twice a month. What are you doing Saturday? We're getting together. We're going to have a party. It's such and such's birthday. And they'd ask me what I was doing. And whether I was doing something or not, I refused to go to their stupid fucking parties. Because they were comedians. And on Saturday nights, you're working. Mm-hmm. If you're not working, you're out there first trying to do a spot. And then after you do a spot, then you can drink and snort coke and fuck somebody up the ass. I'm with you. But your main job as a comic is to do that fucking spot. Your main job is whatever, is to do that spot. Listen, bro, I don't give a fuck about your schedule. I don't give a fuck about, the greatest line in movie history besides the movie line with Rocky is Alec Baldwin in that movie, Grilling Gary Ross, when he does the speech and he goes, good father, fuck you. A good father you supply for your family. You want a boat with your friends playing, you follow what I'm saying to you? All that, people make a big deal about their lives. Fuck you. Today I gotta go to knee surgery. I gotta have knee surgery. I tore my ACL, I tore the fucking thing. There's arthritis in there. There's a muscle that fucked up on the side. I thought it was the knee. You know what, today? Once I finish this, I'm going to the Y. I got to ride that bike. I got to keep my heart going. I got to do Eupolyptical for 50 fucking minutes. My wrist hurts. I won't do kettlebells today. There's no jiu-jitsu today. I have the live podcast tonight, and there's no jiu-jitsu class today. There's an open mat up at Street Sports. I'd rather fucking do, my wrist still hurts. I don't want to land on the wrist or something. So I'm going to do the elliptical. There's always something you could do. I'm 51. You think I want to walk to the fucking Y and lose my parking spot? Is that what you think? No, but I'm doing it anyway. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. When I'm home in the mornings and the baby wakes up, my morning's done. Yeah. Whatever I was working on is done. So guess what? I got to get up at 5:30. That gives me 2 hours without the baby. Because she'll come in anytime after from 6:30. We wake up. Anytime after 6:30 to 7:30, she'll come in bouncing, running in the fucking room. And she doesn't understand the concept of, hold on, daddy's got to finish this. No.
Yeah.
People don't understand that, you got a schedule. That's fine. I don't give a fuck about your schedule. This is what you need to do. You need to go for a walk. If your mother comes to visit you, that's fine. At one point of the day, you give her a kiss and you go, I got to go for a run. Where were you going? We're going to have cupcakes. No, we're not. Have cupcakes with Paula. I'm going to go for a fucking run. And people be mad at you, but they respect you. They'll go, what the fuck, this guy? No, because life goes on. I don't give a fuck about your party. I don't give a fuck about your thing. I have to do this. This is what people in this country, people in general, and then they get mad because they don't get the results they get out of life. Well, I had to do this. No, you don't have to do nothing. Well, my friend had a dinner. Fuck your friend and his fucking dinner. You get there an hour late and you fucking run. Or you exercise, or you go swimming, or you finish the chapter in that book. I don't give a... Lee, how long you know me? Do I give a fuck about anything?
No.
When we got a job to do.
Yeah.
We got a job to do. Christmas, New Year's, birthdays. That's all bullshit. That's for fucking people who don't want to fucking succeed. We work 24/7. That's how you got to do it. You look at the people who are successful. I took the day off because I deserve. What deserve? What fucking deserve? What deserve? What do you got coming? You got dick coming.
Yeah.
Dick. I get it. You're playing with your kids. I'm thinking all fucking day. I'm thinking of the next move all day. I love... Is the phone ringing?
Yeah.
Hit it. What's happening, little brother?
What you doing, dog?
You bad motherfucker. Over here schooling these cocksuckers, letting them know they got to get up every day and wash their assholes. Nothing changes. You know what I'm saying? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. You know, when you were going for the fucking thing a couple months ago, when you were training for the fucking thing with John Jock, in the afternoons you get home, you pick up Draco, you hug him, you kiss him. Once you pick up your child, what do you have on your mind? You don't want to go nowhere, right?
No, man.
But you still got to get up and go do your fucking squats, right or wrong?
Right.
Who gives a fuck? You got to hug the kid, kiss him, and you got to go do what you got to do. Could you imagine if you sat there all day playing with your son all day? It's great, and you're a great father, but what would happen to your house? Who would support your wife? Who would support your kids? Who would attain their goals?
Nothing, man. Nothing gets done.
Nothing gets done. I like these. I'm going to be a stay-at-home father. You're a stay-at-home faggot is what you fucking are. Get out there. Stab a motherfucker. How's your son going to learn from you, cocksucker? I'm going to stay home and play tic-tac. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm emotional this morning. What's happening, my brother?
Hey, you know what? We're in the same boat, man. I like going out and getting the bacon, and my wife stays home and raises Draco and teaches him all day. I like that, man. But I also like staying home, and when I'm not traveling on the weekends to an affiliate of mine to teach a seminar, staying home is like vacation. I enjoy staying home when I can because I'm always out there hustling, trying to make $1, to keep that rent paid. So we're in the same boat, man. We got to go out there and slay some dragons for our family.
I know every fucking night. I know you love jiu-jitsu. I know you love it. I've been around you for 10 years. You love jiu-jitsu. But I know I talk to you every night at 10 after 8 when you're driving to teach. And I got to tell you something. There's some nights I know you don't want to be there. You'd rather do something else. But you love jiu-jitsu, and this is what you do, and you don't give a fuck if the world ends, if the 101 blows up. You still got to be there at 8:30, you know?
Yeah. 101 blows up.
I don't give a fuck. You take a helicopter. It's really amazing how people call you and they go, oh, this isn't working out for me. You're lucky. Joe Rogan put you on the podcast. Joe Rogan put me on the podcast, but it's the work I do after Joe Rogan. These motherfuckers, everybody wants to fucking go to heaven, but nobody wants to die, Eddie. So it's just a thing that I know. You're an older gentleman. At 8 o'clock at night, you're already thinking about putting your feet up and getting your balls licked. You got to go fucking teach and smell feet and shit like that. You don't need that aggravation, but you do it because that's what needs to be fucking done.
I have no choice. There's no choice. And, I ain't complaining. It's a great job, man. Teaching people how to strangle each other. I'm blessed. It's surreal. I can't believe that's my job. But, you're right. Sometimes you just want to fucking stay home and you're tired from, doing different things during the day. Sometimes you want to stay home. But no matter how I feel when I'm driving to class or anything, I know once I start teaching, no matter what I'm feeling, I could have a hangover or whatever. Once I start teaching class, I'm obsessed and the passion just flows. It's a rare time where I'm actually teaching and I don't love it.
No, I know it's really weird, man. I've been going to jiu-jitsu now for a year. You know what I did last Friday night at 7 o'clock, Eddie? When all my friends are doing this and this, I went to the beginner class. And you know what I saw Friday night, Eddie? And I know for you it ain't much, but for me I did the whole floor of hip escapes. Do you know when I fucking started at that school, I could only do 3 hip escapes and I'd be out of breath and I'd pee my pants and I'd have to fucking take my gi top off and breathe? Do you know that I go the whole length of the fucking floor now with hip escapes, bro? Perfect hip escapes, too. The ass all the way up. To me, that means more than somebody giving me $10 million, Eddie.
That's a beautiful thing, man. It's beautiful, man.
For me, that means more to me. This Friday, I got a busted ACL. My knee is gone. They're doing surgery the last week of July. But, you know, today I can't do nothing because I got a podcast and I got an audition. I don't have a jiu-jitsu class in the afternoon. But fucking tomorrow I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu. And even if I can't do a half guard or whatever, I don't give a fuck because I know it affects the rest of my life, Eddie. I know when I get on stage, in the back of my mind, I know that I did the whole length of the floor in hip escapes. That might not be much to you, but to a guy like me, that gives me a ton of fucking confidence when I go on stage, you know?
Absolutely, man. That's what jiu-jitsu does. You're reminded every day of the of things that you were retarded at, and all of a sudden you master. You realize that you can master anything, and you know, what you learn in jiu-jitsu just reminds you of how magical your body is. And, you know, if you're not doing jiu-jitsu, you're just driving to work and you're sitting in your office all day, and by the time you get home at night, you're tired and you eat and you watch some TV and then you crash. You're not reminded how magical your body is. So you think you can't do shit. You think, like, you have no confidence in yourself. But what jiu-jitsu does is it reminds you every time you go in that you sucked at a certain technique, and then you get really good at it, and then you get unconscious with it, and then you get magical with it, like where you're rolling and your body does the move, and you just kind of like just oversaw the whole movement, and your body just did a lot of stuff you didn't even know what it did. Then you realize, wow, man, I could apply this to anything. I could master anything. You can do anything. So that's what jiu-jitsu does. That's how, you know, when people always say, oh, jiu-jitsu changed my life, this, jiu-jitsu changed my life, that, and people always talk about it, but they don't really get down to the specifics, man. The specifics are your body is magical. You teach it how to do something, you do it over and over and over again, it'll do it by itself, and it'll do it by itself way better than you commanding and you doing it. It's pretty incredible, and that's how jiu-jitsu changes your life, because you realize that, man, if I get into any trade or you realize you can be a lawyer, you really can be a doctor. You really can do anything. All you got to do is study, do the drills, do the homework, and you can do anything.
It's amazing, Eddie. Don't get carried away. I'm only good at hip escapes. Everything else, my body's not magical. I'm only good at hip escapes, and I could do 2 of them in a row, and then I got to tap out for a second until I get you back in my guard. What's up, my brother?
Man, that just woke my ass up. You know I'm never up at this time. The only time I'm up at this time is to take a piss. I'm like walking like a zombie to class, and I'm sorry. And that's how fucked up I am. I'm walking down the hall like a zombie to take a leak, and then I walk back. I'm never up. Rarely talking. Just on your podcast. It's the only time I'm up.
Hey, 10 years ago, you were just finishing eating pussy. The Indian was just wearing off 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? At 6 in the morning, you were just coming to. The feather, you found the feather on your chest. You didn't know what happened. You're like, what the fuck happened? There was a feather on my chest. I went out. I'm missing a shoe. You were leaving balloons in Germany. You know, you got a shoe in your backpack. So what's going on this weekend?
This Sunday in Hollywood at the Florentine Gardens, my first jiu-jitsu event. I've been working on this and brainstorming on this for a very long time, and me and Victor Davila, he's the Spanish commentator for the UFC. We're partners in this, and the name of the show is Eddie Bravo Invitational, also known as EBI. We're doing it this Sunday. Doors open at 4:30 at the Florentine Gardens. You can get your tickets at EddieBravoInvitational.com. EBI is 2 16-man submission-only tournaments. We're doing the 145 and 170, and it's there's really nothing out there, man. Like, it's kind of like Abu Dhabi, where it's a bunch of weight classes, 16 men in each weight class, invitation only and qualifying only. but we're doing it submission only. And we do have overtime rounds if there is no submission. The overtime rounds are submission based, so. And they have nothing to do with wrestling or takedowns or anything. Most jiu-jitsu tournaments, if they get into overtime, it really comes down to who the best wrestler is. And when that happens, I'm nothing against wrestling, but when that happens is you can have a guy who doesn't know any jiu-jitsu. He just wrestled his whole life. He'll stall in regulation just to get to overtime, and in overtime, it's first points win, and basically it comes down to wrestling. So we fixed that. That was a flaw in the jiu-jitsu game. Again, wrestling is a beautiful art, and everyone should know wrestling, but jiu-jitsu matches shouldn't be decided on wrestling. That's what we're doing here at EBI. They're submission-based, so there's a YouTube video that I made going over and explaining the overtime rules. If you just go to YouTube and search Eddie Bravo Invitational overtime rules, I explain it. It takes 13 minutes to explain it. I can't do it here. I need visuals to explain it. But I'm really, really excited about it. In the 145, the number one seed is Jeff Glover. And in the 170, the number one seed is Gary Tone, and two monsters in the jiu-jitsu world. And we got 10 planet guys, Gio Martinez and his brother Richie Martinez. They're both in the two. My whole format is designed to promote as much urgency within the fighters to make it exciting for TV. We're basically shooting a pilot for Spanish TV. There's a Spanish major network really, really interested in this. They're going to be there. They're sponsoring the event. The ring announcer works for the network. So it's not sold yet. It's still a pilot, but we're trying. We're trying to get this on TV, and the Spanish market is embracing jiu-jitsu way more than the American market. The American market, they don't care. They just want titties on TV. And in Mexico, jiu-jitsu is on a meteoric rise. It's just like the UFC. They love it. Mexico is just embracing jiu-jitsu. So that's where we're going. We're going to the markets that are embracing it, a market where we don't have to try to go to a pitch meetings. In America, you know how pitch meetings are. You try to explain how awesome jiu-jitsu and how cool it would be to be on TV, and they're like, where are the titties at? Where's where's the new Jersey Shore? That's what they're looking for. So we're not even going to try to put it on American TV. They're going to have to see it be successful in Latin market, and then hopefully they'll pick it up. But that's this Sunday, Florentine Gardens. Tickets are only $25. Again, you can get on the website and buy the tickets there. I hope to see all you guys. I hope to see a bunch of death squatters there. My goal is to create the most exciting jiu-jitsu tournament possible. That's my goal. I might fail miserably, but that is my goal, and the rules and everything the whole focus was to be exciting enough, not just for the hardcore jiu-jitsu fans, but for everybody worldwide, just the casual UFC fan. That's what we're aiming at.
That's a beautiful fucking thing. That's a beautiful
Thank
fucking
you very much.
I knew it. Now, when submission only, there's no points? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, no points.
No
Submission
points.
only. So that's what kills the game. There's been a point format in jiu-jitsu since 1996, since the first tournament in the United States. And there's been no TV or just the point system is just encourages stalling. As soon as a guy's up on 2 points, maybe he took a guy down or passed a guard, he'll hold. He'll hold, and generally he'll stall. There are guys that don't get, that are exciting in the point format. There are guys like Keenan Cornelius, Rafa Mendez, Marcelo Garcia, but generally overall, you got 4 matches in your division. Your first couple matches, you don't want to blow your wad. So you get a couple points and you hold. That's great for you and your teammates, but it sucks for the people sitting in the stands, people watching at home. So we're trying to cater to the people watching at home, which is something jiu-jitsu promoters have never done before, because in jiu-jitsu, they cater to the competitors because the competitors pay the bills. The promoters are making money off the competitors. They're paying $120 each, so they're making it all about the competitors, when we're trying to make it all about the audience. the spectator. We're focusing on them, which no one has really done before. Everyone's focusing on making the competitor happy. So we're trying to make the audience happy, and hopefully this works out. And we've done our best. Me and Vita Davila busted her ass, and this is going to be a great show, man. I hope to see everybody at the Florentine Gardens this Sunday. Doors open at 4:30. If you're going to the Mundials, the World Championships, if you get bored there, you can always tell your buddy, let's get out of here and let's go to EBI, dude. This is killing me. You can do that shit. It's only the Mundials is probably like 30 minutes away from Florentine Gardens, so we're hoping to pack it up, make a lot of noise, and just to make sure everyone has a good time, and people talk about it in a great way, and we just keep going, and we keep doing EBI Grand Prix, EBI. We're going to do EBI Women and Children, just a tournament with just women and children and teens brackets. There's so many amazing kids out there doing jiu-jitsu. They're virtuosos. That's the kids are sometimes more entertaining than the adults. A lot of times actually, and so are the women. Watching girls and women do jiu-jitsu and seeing how good they are. That's pretty fascinating as well. So EBI is gonna encompass everybody, and everybody does jiu-jitsu. Women, children, old ladies, 5-year-olds, people with cerebral palsy do jiu-jitsu. Everybody does jiu-jitsu. You have no excuse. There are people with cerebral palsy that do jiu-jitsu. So if you're out there thinking, oh my God, I can't do it, I'm going to get hurt, there are people with cerebral palsy doing jiu-jitsu. There's a guy named Kyle Maynard who has no arms and no legs. He does jiu-jitsu. There's guys with missing legs. They do jiu-jitsu. There's guys with missing arms. They do jiu-jitsu. So you have no excuse not to do jiu-jitsu.
It's funny. There's a guy up at John Jocks. It's a 72-year-old black belt. They just sent me a picture of him. One of the guys, Javier, and I guess he had a heart attack in his 50s or something like that. That really inspires the fuck out of you. Higan Machado's got a kid that had a heart attack an hour after going to jiu-jitsu, Eddie Bravo. He had open heart surgery and he went back to class. He's a purple belt now. I was rolling with him. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you're not scared? He goes, no, they fixed my heart. I'm back. It really is amazing how better I've gotten as a comedian since I started jiu-jitsu, Eddie. I've improved.
How has it helped you in comedy?
Confidence. Whenever I listen, Eddie, for me to walk into jiu-jitsu, I'm scared because I don't know anything. I do not know. And it's a scary thing for me. And when I would walk out of jiu-jitsu and there'd be a little bit of sweat on my shirt or a lot of sweat on my shirt, whether I reviewed techniques, whether I reviewed a hip escape, whether I reviewed, escaping from the mount or a sweep from the mount, when I walked out of there, Eddie, I felt like I did something that was out of my comfort zone. And when you do something that's out of your comfort zone, I could go kickbox all day long. I could do Muay Thai all day long. I'd go there and do the 4 rounds and learn the technique for the week and spar, and it's another day for me because I've been doing it since I was 5 with Rashad's father. He was my first karate teacher. But wrestling and jiu-jitsu, anything on my back, I never had confidence of. So whenever I walk out of jiu-jitsu, that's my accomplishment for the week. I know I did something. My goal is to do 2 sessions a week at this age. That's all I can handle, especially if I do kettlebells and if I do the epileptical. I'm non-testosterone, I'm overweight. But I got to tell you something, Eddie. For me to go in there and I do little things, and there's such a big accomplishment for me. If I pass a guard one week, to me, that's like winning the fucking silver at the Mundials. To me, to Joe Diaz, to me. When I hold somebody in my closed guard and I get them in a half guard and I hold them there for 5 minutes, even if I just break his posture, to me, I made an accomplishment. I did better than the week before. Do you know what I'm saying?
And most people, they have a misconception of how tough jiu-jitsu is, and how they think there's just going to be a bunch of sweaty, bald MMA fighters. You're going to go in a cage, and they're going to throw you against the cage, and they're going to smash you. Man, at 10 Planet HQ downtown LA, we got 2 beginner classes a day. 2. There's one in the daytime, there's one at night, and sometimes there's 2 at night. The day classes are just filled with beginners that know nothing. My instructors, Javon Graham and Scott Ross, they walk everybody They hold their hands, walk them through it. The beginner classes are tailor-made for people that know nothing. So by the time you get to my class is the advanced class. You know, by the time you get there, you'll have some weapons in your pocket, and you'll have confidence, and you'll know. And everyone that walks in and finally takes their first class, they all say the same thing. They're like, man, I had no idea I was going to love it so much, and how fun and easier they thought it. You know, it was easier than they thought it was going to be. You know, it's like most jiu-jitsu schools have a good beginner class. And if they don't, then that, you know, it's kind of tough. It really is. If they're throwing the beginners in with the advanced guys, you gotta have some big balls to do that as a beginner. But, you know, find a local jiu-jitsu school and ask them how many beginner classes they have a week, and if they have, at least 2 to 4, then you'll be fine. Just hit those for 6 months, a year, and then you slowly make your way to the advanced class. But like I said, at HQ, man, we got 2 beginning classes a day, and they're filled, man. There's like 20, 25 guys per beginning class every day, packed with guys that don't know anything. And by the time I get them, by the time they transition to the advanced class, they have some serious confidence and flow right with the advanced class. It doesn't take that long, maybe a year. Time flies. If you got to be in the beginner class for a year, that's going to go by so quick. And plus, if you're scared, you just want to stay there anyways. You don't want to transition to the advanced class until you're fully ready and fully have your confidence on track.
What nobody remembers, Eddie, is that I knew Scott Ross when he was a nerdy writer at the Comedy Store. And he was a sweetheart of a kid. He didn't say 2 fucking words. He used to sit there with nerdy glasses in the corner and ask me questions about comedy. I always loved him. And one day I walked into HQ when you were on La Brea, and I think he was a blue belt, and he was a completely different man. His body had changed. His back had changed. He had long hair. He was smiling. He came right over and grabbed my leg. And now I watch his drills every day. Every day he already posted his drills right now. By fucking 7 o'clock, Scott Ross already posted HQ drills on Facebook. And I sit there and I look at the quarter guard transition to the back guard, and my head fucking explodes. I mean, it's fucking amazing what Scott's doing down there. And I spoke to him. To him a few weeks ago, and I told him once I figure out I really want him to take some time with me, and he was fucking open to it. So, I mean, Scott's a great guy. He even told me there's a train from my house to HQ.
Yes, that's correct. Right by your house.
There's a train from my house to HQ that my wife could pick me up on the way home at 11 on Mondays and Wednesdays, because those are the days she either works either or. So I spoke to him already, and it's pretty fucking interesting, the things I'm learning and how I'm feeling lately since I started. And I took your advice on one thing. When you did Metamoris, this last time, you spoke about how you were talking to him throughout the match.
Yeah.
You spoke how you wanted, and it was, you made me laugh so much. You're like, why am I talking shit to somebody? I'm going to talk something funny because I don't want to be a mad guy wrestling with me. I've been doing that lately, Eddie. And I've been fucking people up because, once they take me down, I'm like, you cocksucker. I can't believe you did this to me. Now I'm going to get you. And we both start fucking laughing, and then I get them. That's my world now. Once I got you laughing, it's my fucking world. But, no, Eddie, I learned a lot from you, and you're good at what you do, and I watch all your fucking shit on YouTube, and you're my brother, and I love you. And I'm taking George with me and John Evans. I'm taking Argentine and George and John Evans, so I will be there Sunday cheering you on. Eddie, man, when I met you, you were a fucking DJ at some fucking strip club where I couldn't afford a hand job, and now look at you. Remember, I would go out there with you and Rogan. I'd stand there because I didn't have $20 for a hand job. I'd just stand there and look at your records. How you doing, bro? You got the Temptations. Papa was a Rolling Stone, and now you're the elite of the elite. Every day I got to answer a question about you. Every fucking day I answer an Eddie Bravo question. Every fucking day.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Every day I answer an Eddie Bravo question. It used to be Joe Rogan questions. Are they bringing back Fear Factor? Did he really kill a mountain lion? But now it's it's all you. The last, especially since Metamoris, I always get something about Eddie Bravo at some point in the day, and it makes me laugh. So I wish you luck, Eddie, with everything. I will be there Sunday with bells on. I will not be competing, so tell him I will not be competing. But Joe Jiu-Jitsu will make a fucking appearance on Sunday. I will be there. Sober, no reefer. How the fuck is that?
Thanks very much, man.
Eddie Bravo, how the fuck is that? I went to prison. I was in a halfway house. When I was in the halfway house, I gave them 2 hot UAs for cocaine. They put me in an outpatient rehab. I went for 3 weeks. I was married. I'd been arrested. Half my life, nobody could stop me from smoking reefer. I went to jiu-jitsu for 7 months, and I decided I had to stop smoking reefer because I couldn't wrestle with people. What does that tell you about something? I'll leave you with that, just to let you know how much it's changed me in so many ways. So thank you for showing me jiu-jitsu, brother. I love you to death.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you very
I'll talk to you later, my friend. Have a great day. Thank you for calling.
Okay, bye.
All right. There you have it, you dirty bitches. If you're not doing nothing on Sunday and you're in the Valley or something, let's all meet over at Eddie's place about 5. Let's go support his first event. I'm sure a lot of the brothers are going to be down there. I'm going to try to get Ari and all of us to go down there with some fucking 10 Planet shirts and jump up and down. It's always a great thing to see one of your brothers going for one of their dreams, you know. And if you know anything about Eddie, this is one of his fucking dreams. So let's go down there, put it together. What, cocksucker?
That's pretty hysterical. You went to the strip club and you couldn't afford
I just sit there, whoop around,
looking at
whistling, looking at the albums, oh man, that's nice furniture.
Oh, speaking of albums, I don't think I told you, when I went down to Steve Simone, you know his buddy Ryan who owns the burrito place?
Yeah. He's told me about it a couple times.
Yeah, he. I think he probably met you at the store once. But on one of Steve's podcasts, we were talking about how my dad and I would always quote Bill Cosby and himself, that album. Mm-hmm. So he bought me the vinyl. He bought me the vinyl version of it. So now I have like a vinyl version of that Bill Cosby album in my house.
What are you gonna do?
I have to find a record player. I don't have one. I don't even know where to look for one. But I would just hearing albums like, oh shit. So. Thank you.
Well, you better buy a fucking record player. That's good. You're getting into something, cocksucker. I love you.
What are you doing?
Let me give some shout-outs to some beautiful fucking people, all right? Are you stoned?
If you want to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kirby McKenzie, you know I love you.
He does.
He does. He's a good guy.
No, I'm saying you do.
I do love Kirby McKenzie.
I'm your little MC. I'm here.
Shut the fuck up, cocksucker. I'll stab you with this E-pencil. D. Gust, 6 ounces, I love you. Rob Johnston, I love you too. Nikki Pompa, what's the story? Jessica S., get it together. Bill Man for Rest, I love you too. And Aunt L.A., you're always a bad motherfucker, always supporting the fucking cause. I don't know if you guys follow UFC or you give a fuck. Robbie Lawler versus Matt Brown was announced yesterday.
Yeah, break this down.
For Sacramento.
We've had Matt Brown for a while, but when you came in, you were like, that's basically like Godzilla versus
oh my God.
King Kong.
Robbie Lawler just beat up fucking Jake Ellenberger the other day. Poor Jake Ellenberger. I'm a fan of Jake's. I know he's a fan of the fucking podcast, but once I saw him doing the Anthony Robbins thing, talking to himself in the cage, I knew the confidence was low, and Robbie Lawler read that also and just started attacking him with high kicks and whatnot. Robbie Lawler's a fucking brawler. Robbie Lawler's a guy that's been around the game since he was a kid. I
recognize this guy.
And he's putting it all together now. All the stars are aligned. He lost to Hendricks in the championship, the 5-rounder.
Okay.
You know, some people felt he won. I felt Hendricks squeaked it out. You know, who the fuck am I? I'm not a judge. But I also know he comes to brawl. Matt Brown, on the other end, has been a fucking monster. He just
Matt
came
Brown
off
just
the
killed
fight of
that
the year.
guy.
Eric Silver's still in the fucking, still shaking his head going, what went wrong? But Eric Silver, don't get me wrong, that was a hell of a fight if anybody watched it. And I know today's a UFC-based fucking card, but what the fuck, we're just talking about getting healthy and getting in shape. So that got announced yesterday for Sacramento, July 26th. I'm fucking very excited about that. That's a great fucking card. Let me talk about On It real quick here. I'm back on the strong bone because my knee is hurting, so I'm doing some surgery at the end of July. I'm going to go strong until fucking July with the knee. He wanted to give me a cortisone shot yesterday, but I said no. He's going to shoot my leg with some cartilage healer to start working on the cartilage, but he still has to go in there and clean out the whatever the fuck you call it, the arthritis, whatever the fuck you call it. So I've been taking the strong bone again. Listen, man, for all your fucking needs, for supplement needs, I'm not kidding you. Everybody else is fucking outdated. Whether it's the Shroom Tech Sport, the Shroom Tech Immune, the digest enzymes they got now. You know what? Onnit is getting better every fucking day with their products. I mean, just Alpha Brain alone, I feel fucking tremendous. Go to Onnit.com. See what they got. See if there's anything you like, anything that will. They have a money-back guarantee on their fucking products. Go to joeydiaz.net. Go see what my tour dates are. If I'm coming to your hometown with T-shirts, whatever the fuck you want to buy, a gi patch, whatever the fuck you want to buy. While you're looking at that, look at the Onnit box. Press the word in.
Church.
Church. Press the code in church. Get 10% off. Go look and see what Onnit has for you. They got something. It's the Alpha Brain. I'm not telling you everything works for me. I use the hemp protein, the acai. I use the hemp protein, the chocolate. But I switch up on proteins from time to time just so they taste better. There's no better tasting fucking protein than hemp protein than the Hemp Force chocolate. No better tasting chocolate. It is fucking delicious. Aubrey went out of his way to get the best cocoa fucking beans there are in the world. I mean, all jokes aside, it's fucking tremendous protein if you're looking for that. Just something to get you started in the morning. You know, you mix it with water, you put in your glutathione, whatever the fuck it is, to the amino acids in your back like a fucking soldier. Go to Onnit.com. Trust me, I wouldn't break your balls about this if it wasn't working for you. Maybe you're thinking of starting a program. Maybe you're already starting a program. You need a little extra zip. Just give one little thing of Shroom Tech Sport. You're gonna feel fucking great when you're working out. You're gonna go, wow, yesterday I ran 2 miles, today I ran 3 miles. Go to Onnit.com. Also to one of my favorite fucking people in the world, because I can't tell you how much I save you if you go through these people. That Dollar Shave Club. You're a man, you got a wife, she shaves her pussy, you want to shave your asshole. They got everything for you for that. Why are you spending $22 for razors every month? Why are you going to some fucking place and waiting online? Why? You fucking live off your time. I don't know how much time you got left. Get them mailed to your house. Amazon does a fucking great job. I don't even know if they use Amazon. I'm just telling you that they mail the fucking razors to your house. They got 3 different programs. They got $1, $6, and $9. You get 4 fucking sets of blades sent to your house every fucking month. That's it for one low cost. $1, $6, and $9. If you want to try the $6 plan, it's tremendous. It's a double blade. The $9 is a double blade with an aloe strip. They also have a post-shave fucking thing. They have the shaving cream, the cocoa butter thing, the shave cream to eliminate fucking ingrown hairs. They also have the one wipe Charlies for your asshole and your nutsack if you're in a rush and you want to get your balls licked and you don't want to show up smelling like a fucking dog in heat, a freak without warning. Like a what?
Mama Lukier.
A Mama Lukier. You don't want to go smelling like a Mama Lukier, so you got to fucking wipe your nuts, all right? Also, nutrition at its best. Naturebox.com. Nutrition, snacks at their best. Naturebox.com. I can't say it enough. Naturebox.com has blown me away. Whether it's the cocoa almonds, the spicy pistachios, the sesame sticks, every fucking month they send me something. And every month, the Southwestern Party fucking mix, every month they send me something and I go, wow, this is fucking good. The figs, my daughter lives off those fucking apricot figs. Go to naturesbox.com right now. Look to see what they got to offer. They're offering you a thing, 50% off your first order. 50% off your first order. 50 fucking % off your first order for mentioning the church. Go to the box on my webpage and press
Joey, get
50% off your first order. 50 fucking %. 50%. I'm giving you half off the first order. I always take care of you motherfuckers. You understand me? Value is what I'm trying to save you some fucking geeters here. Nobody ever saves you geeters. We're talking about money. $1, $6, and $9 for the razors. On it, 10% off. Fucking naturesbox.com. 50 fucking % off of the nutritionist approved fucking snacks. Go to naturesbox.com right now, press in,
Joey,
and get 50% off your first order. And then after that, you can switch them around every month, but you'll get them sent to your house right there on the first. You don't got to go nowhere and get snacks. Also, again, congratulations. They just had a baby, nailed it like Peter and my man David. I love you guys to death. They're not together. I'm just saying. One guy's the uncle, one guy's the dad. I love their Nailed It Life. I have their vapor pen at the house. It's tougher than fucking death. You can put wax in there or a fucking oil. You can put gasoline. You can put whatever the fuck you want in their fucking pen. You understand me? That's how good fucking their pen is. Go to naileditlife.com. Tell them Joey Diaz in the fucking box and get 10% off, 20% off the first order. They also have Gumi and Miles. They don't ship to everywhere, but talk to them about it. Naileditlife.com. I love these guys. They're family friends from West New York, New Jersey. What up, cocksucker?
You know, you get emotional when you're talking about.
I get
discounts.
emotional about all this shit because I love these people who fucking reach out and they also give you guys a deal, and that's very important to me.
Yeah, you guys know how I know Nature Box is good because every time someone says something, Joey always gives it to me. I haven't seen Nature Box in fucking 7 months.
I got like a bag at the house.
You're always like, hey, it's so good. I got something at the house for you. Every next time I see a dog, those Cocoa Almonds that they didn't make a dog. I was like, all right.
One time they sent me 2 bags of Cocoa Almonds. I'm like, I'm gonna save them for Lee. Fuck. That was the longest fucking week of my life. I was telling Lee something happened the other night that was really interesting to me. I was watching a TV show. Doesn't matter what show it is, guys. But it's a show that you motherfuckers don't shut the fuck up about.
Real Housewives of Orange County.
This vapor pen's delicious today. I think this is OG. They might close. No Organic is closing.
Why? Because of the government, or?
They sent a letter to the landlord. The landlord's fucking shaking his track. They're going to blow the place up, so No Organic might close for a few months. It's killing me. It's a pain in my fucking ass. You know, it's one of the best fucking weed stores out there, No Organic. They got some fucking weed now that killed fucking Jesus. I'm telling you right now. They got a PR over there that's so fucking strong. I took one hit off a bong and went to Bert Kreischer's barbecue. I couldn't stop eating hot dogs. I couldn't stop. They were following me. They were chasing me to fucking hot dogs. They were talking to me. One fucking bong hit of the PR. And I smoked that shit with Doug Benson in Texas. Nothing happened. And I think I did a pipe hit here the one night of the candy, whatever. That didn't do nothing to me. The PR right now with No Organic on Burbank will fucking set you back 3 days. It's like fucking, we're going to wake up like, what's that dude that woke up with a beard? Humpledink? What's his name? The dude who went to sleep for 20 years and he woke up with a beard and dirty feet.
I have no idea.
I don't fucking know either. Humpledink or something like that. That's what'll happen to you. But it's really funny. I was at home the other night and the show was on. They had 2 or 3 episodes of the show. It's a half-hour comedy. And I'm sitting there and listen, it doesn't matter what show it is. It's the point I'm trying to make here. And I'm watching the show, and I'm sitting there for 15 minutes, and this show's killing me. But then my wife comes in, and I go, I want my wife to watch what I'm watching. So we finish watching the show we're watching, and we watch another episode that they play of this show. And after like 15 minutes, my wife looks at me, she goes, why are we watching this? Now, guys, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a savage, you know. I'm not all there. But my wife is white, raised with a great family, Tennessee, you know, she don't drink, none of that shit. She's watching the show. She turns over to me, she goes, this show is fucking terrible. This show is fucking terrible. And I'm like, God, everybody says this show is fucking great. I watched it last year, a couple episodes. I think it's okay. It's entertaining at its best at a 4. But this show, once it gets off the air, nobody will ever watch this shit again. And it's amazing that you talk to people, and this is the thing. So I call Lee right away. And I go, Lee, I just watched that show. He's like, you know, whatever the fuck you told me, it's the cool thing to watch, you said. You know, guys, when does it end? When does it fucking end? When is something... We went to Texas, and we end a barbecue, and you got to wait online for 3 hours. That ain't cool. That's what people waiting online to be fucking cool. So they can go tell somebody what the fuck they did. For 3 hours. Since when is waiting online being cool? It's like these idiots that put those glasses on and they sit there like, I have glasses on. Really? You think you're fucking cool because you got fake glasses on? It makes you look what? People gonna think you're fucking smarter because you got glasses on? We live in fucked up times. You know what? I do a podcast week. It is what the fuck it is. At the end of the day, it's a fat fuck that went to prison with a fucking Jew talking stupidity, okay? If you want to listen to it, you listen to it, okay? If not, don't listen to it. If you don't like what I'm trying to say, don't listen to it. But I don't ever want you to hang out with me or do this because it's a cool thing to do. That's a shitty fucking way to live. That's what society's about. I remember when I was a kid, next to the Benders, there was a house that had Richie Seidel. Remember, we talked about this before. Little Richie that was at Chan's that day that talked about seeing me get stabbed that time, and that was crazy. He was a little boy. And he had a sister, and every Friday and Saturday night, his parents would play cards. His father owned Chickadee, chicken place. It's like a chicken delight for white people, Chickadee. And every Friday and Saturday, his mom and dad would play cards, and they would have a different high school babysitter in there, and the whole neighborhood knew about it. So your goal was to go over there and fuck the babysitter. I was always friends with the babysitter. So I would go over there and watch Richie's kids with whatever chick. 9 out of 10, I didn't try to fuck nobody. They were just friends. But the point being, I would go over there for the latter night of Saturday night. And I remember being a kid in the 7th and 8th grade, and everybody talking about Saturday Night Live. I was going to die of laughter. And I would watch Saturday Night Live, and I'll tell you what, nothing would happen to me. Saturday Night Fever. And I'd sit there and go, this is okay at its best. I'm a honeymooners type of motherfucker. I'm an odd couple type of motherfucker. I'm a Sanford and Son. Red Fox was funny on Sanford and Son. This is atrocious. Or at least it wasn't as funny to me as everybody said it was. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, you got to watch it. And I knew people who missed their Saturday nights to go home and watch Saturday Night Live. And I would go, oh, my fucking God. Oh, my fucking God. That a young man would stay home on a Saturday to watch that shit. I could see if you were sick or somebody died in your house and that was the only thing that was on TV. But for you to run home to watch Saturday Night Live, I couldn't fucking think about it. I never watched it again. And I learned something but it wasn't that. I remember I was telling Lee the story. When I was a kid, I used to go to every concert at the Garden, the Palladium, the Ritz. If there was a fucking concert in New York, I was there as a high schooler. And we went over and we stubbed tickets, or we fucking robbed somebody, and we sold the jewelry to get tickets to go to these shows. But there was this rich kid, and his name was Otto Sauer. He was this little German kid. Otto was a fucking nerd in today's standards. Nice kid. I liked him. I had nothing against Otto. He got high. But Otto overcompensated. He tried really hard to be fucking cool, even though he was a fucking nerd. Whatever you guys call a nerd now today, a fucking hipster or a dork, whatever the fucking guy's name. Otto was all right. He wouldn't hurt himself. He had no malintentions. But if there was a concert, we were there, and Otto was there with his boys. And I would go to school the next day, and I would be, we all were potheads. So I would listen to Otto tell stories about the concert the night before, how the concert was great. And some concerts we went to were fucking great. I saw some great concerts growing up. The music was great. The sound was great. I saw New Barbarians with Keith Richards. I saw some unique concerts growing up. And there was concerts that just blew. Black Sabbath with Van Halen blew. Black Sabbath just blew. The Cars at Central Park, I went to see them, they just blew. There's some shows that, I fucking suck. If you go see me 10 nights in a row, I'm not going to be great 10 nights in a row. 3 of those nights I'm going to suck. It's just the way life is. Maybe the audience is too tight. Maybe I got into a fight with my wife. Maybe somebody's sick in my family. Maybe the fucking flying Jew ain't getting high. Wake up, cocksucker. Something's going on. You cannot be 100% every night. And you go out there, and every time we went to a concert, I'd always hear Otto talk about how good the concert was. But one day we went to see somebody in Jersey, and the concert blew. The concert blew so much that even the kids I went with were like, that sucked. And the next day I saw Otto with his concert T-shirt on, because God forbid people didn't know he'd go to a concert the night before. If he went to a show, everybody had to know the next day. He had to put the concert T-shirt on. And I remember him being 10 feet away. He didn't know I was there, and he was telling the story about the concert last night, how he was awesome, and all these gawkers were there like, really, you went, you're so lucky. And I finally had to go, Otto, not for nothing. Me and these 8 gorillas were at that concert last night, and it fucking sucked. The singer, oh no. And then after 10 minutes, he goes, yeah, you're right. So then why'd you tell these guys it was good? To be fucking cool, that not everything is good. And in this country, we've learned that everything, oh my God, it was just, no. Be honest. Be fucking honest. You're going to hang with somebody or do something because they're fucking cool? Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. You got to speak for yourself. You got to have your own fucking voice, man. If something sucks like the church, Joey, the church sucks. You know what? I won't be mad at you. I'd rather you say that than fucking tell me some bullshit. Right or wrong? Why are you lying to yourself, America? Why the fuck are you lying to these people that the show sucks? Why are you sitting there saying it's brilliant? Because your 10 dumb friends are saying it's brilliant? These fucking dummies that have no voice, that'll never speak out something for themselves. It's always what everybody fucking else likes. That's why I can't stand going to Hollywood. I was in Hollywood yesterday. I made the left turn on Fairfax. Yeah. I see 15 people waiting in front of the fucking griddle. Let me tell you something. There's nothing I want to do more than make a U-turn and run over those 15 people because they're dead anyway. They're dead anyway. 15 people waiting for eggs to be cool because Lindsay Lohan ate there one time before court. But down the block, there's an egg joint, and it was empty. I pulled in and got a turkey fucking bagel, a bagel on poppy seed with turkey. You understand me? So what fucking price do you pay to be cool? Jesus Christ, to wait online, that's fucking cool. So you can tell your fucking friends, those fucking deadbeats, that you did that? The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, we're at the Ice House tonight, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night I'm at San Diego's at Harrah's. And next week, we're at the motherfucking Wise Guys in Utah. Myself and my main man, Duncan Boogaloo Trussell. What are you gonna fucking do with your life? That's it. That's the church today. In a fucking nutshell, whether you like it or not, cocksuckers. What, Lee? What do you got to tell me?
Nothing. It is crazy. It's I think what it is no one really has any real conversations anymore. And then at work, if everyone's talking about this, well, let's just say the show is The Big Bang Theory. If everyone was talking about that, and then you're the one asshole who doesn't like it, then you have nothing to talk about them with. So that's why I think a lot of people watch shows like that, just to fit in and have something to talk about.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You gotta have your soul at the end of the fucking day. How are you not gonna have your fucking soul? I never understood that. I never fucking understood how you wanted to be a part of something just to be cool. You know, I smoke fucking pot. I've been smoking pot now. Am I proud of it? No. But that just goes to show you, when I fucking started smoking pot at 14, I didn't do it to be cool. I did it because I needed the fucking help. I'm an insecure fuck. What are you going to do? But I know that going in. I don't smoke pot. You've never seen a t-shirt on me with a leaf, have you? Have you ever seen me with a High Times or 420? You ever seen me fucking do that? No.
Have you showed them your tattoo? On the
fucking tattoo of a fucking... I'm going to put a tattoo of a fucking pot plant on me. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with these fucking people? You don't see High Times on my wall, do you? You don't see a shirt with, it's 420. Get the fuck. I didn't hear about 420 until I moved to L.A. Did you know that?
Really?
I thought 420 was every minute of the fucking day, you fucking morons. It's 420. It's 420. But meanwhile, your wife is sucking somebody else's dick. But you're worried about 420, you fucking morons. Fucking momos. Look at me with a pot plant on my shirt. So people know I smoke fucking pot. What's the matter with you? High Times. I never bought a fucking High Times. I didn't know what High Times was till somebody fucking sent me an email years ago, write an article, whatever, for about the first time you smoked. High Times. A poster of a fucking bud. I smoked that fucking bud. You're gonna put a poster up of reefer on your fucking wall like you're 10. The fuck is wrong with people? The fuck is wrong with people? Have your own fucking identity. Don't surround your identity because reefer or... What the fuck is wrong with you fucking momos? Then you wonder why you get bullied, why your kids get bullied, because you're a fucking momo. What, Lee?
I love it. I just can't wait until some poor guy walks up tonight with a weed t-shirt on.
I smoke weed. Look at me. Get the fuck out of my face. I smoke weed. At 7 in the morning over here puffing fucking Gorilla Biscuits. Look at the old podcast. We'd smoke fucking 3 joints, me and Lee, from 6 to fucking 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, you got a shirt. I'm going to the pot convention this week. What the fuck is wrong with you? Pot convention. Anyway. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Go out there. You got dreams, go fucking do them, cock. Whatever the fuck is going down, you're alive, bitch. What's happening to my little Jewish brother? You bad motherfucker, you.
What are you gonna do?
You know me, dog. It's Monday, June 2nd. I'm ready to stab a motherfucker.
There's so much to tell. Where do we start today?
We can start with the live podcast, which was sensational. Ari Shafir always bringing it, taking it to the hoop. Had to get up because he was taking a long-distance call from China.
Yeah.
Who speaks to Chinese people on a Wednesday night? Thursday, San Diego, fucking phenomenal. I'm out of driving shape, Lee. I'm definitely out of driving shape.
You're not out of driving shape.
Listen, man, for years I drove a lot. I drove to all these gigs. Mm-hmm. Now you fly in your wind in your car. You fucking don't have it no more. I bought that car in January. I got 3,000 miles. I used to put 3,000 miles a week on a fucking car, Lee.
Jesus.
A week. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay. But I feel like you're not telling the whole story.
What fucking story? We got high and we drove down there, and it was
you said get there at like 3:45, 4 o'clock, somewhere around there. We get there and you start running errands. I'm like, where is he going? He's going to the ATM. Okay, maybe he wants to tip the bartender. And I'm like, oh shit, no, we're going to the weed store.
Went to the weed store, which a lot of them are closing around the area. We're getting.
So you got to stock up.
It's you got to stock up. But I've been going to listen. No Organic has been one of my favorites since day one. I've had some great weed stores. I had the one in Hollywood, Cushmart, with my main man. Me and Ralph used to go up there and get the Matt's OG. And then I moved to the Valley. I can't drive to fucking Hollywood every day, so I got Divine Wellness. I had the other no-hole one on Lancashire. That moved. But Divine Wellness closed down. Divine Wellness had some great edibles. But No Organic has always been in the run. They were, and I like Tony. I like the whole staff. They're the Mexican chick, the little Mexican kid. I like the owner, Jay. I mean, they're just good people. If you go to their place, they got all the name brands we talk about. You know, they got Auntie Dolores, they got Chiba Chew, they've got the other new ones. The only ones they don't have is the chocolate bars I get.
Bang?
No. The other ones, Curb, whatever the fuck they are. Oh. But, what do you call that? The strongest edible at No Organic is these fucking 200 milligram cookies.
And wait.
They're ugly as shit.
How much did you tell me they were?
Don't worry about what I told you.
He gave it to me like, it's 10 milligrams.
Listen, these fucking things are like, you ever go to like a bakery and they have that big Chinese cookie or the big cookie with the chocolate
like the black and white cookie, yeah.
The black and white cookie. It's like that. It's a big fucking cookie. So you break that motherfucker in half, and I'll tell you what, you will see stars. I guarantee you will see stars. Now, they have one on the top shelf that's 200, and they have one in the middle shelf that they're 100. But on the second shelf, they always will have fudge squares. Okay, on the third square, they have sodas. They have THC sodas, and they have Auntie Dolores in the mix. Let me tell you something. I love Auntie Dolores. I love Chibo Chew. We've discussed them. Nothing will rock your world like this 200 milligram cookie. Nothing, Lee, has anything rocked your world that hard.
The only thing that got close was when I had the 1.5 Green Hornets. But this was one thing, and the thing that got me was it took a while to get down there, and you started getting high, because then after you took the half, like 30 minutes later, you just downed a whole Chiba Chew.
Oh, I just ate a Chiba Chew on top of it like a fucking soldier. Was sitting in traffic.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I forget who it was. I think maybe it was Rick, but we were talking about how when you were driving, you can't really sit still. You would start opening the windows a little bit, do the AC a little bit, but then you started getting high. So we were doing about 90 down the highway with all 4 windows down,
wide open,
the AC going 1,000, and I'm freezing, but I can't look. And then we stopped and got snacks because we thought we were close. Because for whatever reason, we stopped looking up the GPS. We went off by what the promoter said. What's her name? She was
Monique.
Monique. She's very nice. But you got mints, and you ate like a quarter of the pack at once.
I couldn't
look at you. And I couldn't look at you.
We were so fucking stoned by that point, and the Chiba Chew was kicking in. So now we got to drive, but now it's no more interstate freeway. It's winds and valleys. Like, what do you call those? Winding roads.
Yeah, we're on the Indian reservation.
So it's an Indian reservation with one road going that way and one coming this way. It's a 2-laner. It's a 2-roader, as my friend Fernie Basasuto used to say.
Yeah, it felt like East Coast.
Yeah, it did feel like the East Coast. We're driving, and I'm getting sicker and sicker. I get fucking car sick by reputation. You know, since I was a kid, I got fucking car sick. So now I'm getting car sick, and I got to pull over with 20 minutes. And we made a left. I made a left somewhere that took us up this fucking hill of death. And I'm like, Lee, I don't see no lights. It kept getting darker. The GPS wasn't working. The lady was telling him to go fuck himself. We finally called her back. She goes, turn around. We made a U-turn. And that one, before I made that U-turn, I had to pull over.
Yeah.
That was horrid. And then I looked. This was the weird thing I didn't tell Lee. So I'm getting anxiety. I'm sweating profusely. I'm getting sick. I get out of the fucking car. I close the door.
Yeah,
I'm
what
just
happened?
Breathing. I look to the side of the road, and somebody died there. They got flowers there and shit.
Oh, no.
And Indian arrows and shit. So now I got to sit there and go. And that's why I looked at it and go, we're going to die tonight.
Oh, no.
Remember I tell you, we're going to die tonight.
I thought you got out of the car to call Monique. I thought you got out of the car to do that. Oh,
no, I got out of the car to get fucking air. I didn't want to call. We're going to call Monique. I could have called her in the car right direct without even picking up the fucking phone. Why would
my God.
I pulled over to breathe and get my head right and fucking.
And then we went to the one side of the casino that didn't have valet, and I was like, this is never going to end. Oh,
we sat there, and we had to get around. But I had to do like 8. By that point, I was doing 8 miles an hour because I couldn't even drive no more, guys. That's how car sick I was. I couldn't even fucking drive anymore. I was getting so goddamn car sick. So I pulled over. The valet came. We walked in. The air conditioner helped. We drank. So even in that little green room, I was about to puke.
Yeah.
Remember I said to you, give me the garbage can? Remember I said, and it had no fucking garbage lining in it. And I'm like, I'm gonna puke in a no fucking garbage lining.
And then you see the guy who came in, moved it, and I was like, don't move that, but I was too high to tell him.
Oh my God. But then, about 10 minutes before I got on stage with the water and just standing up and...
Well, we weren't in the green room for that long. It felt like we were in the green room for like 6 minutes, and then you went on stage for an hour. I was like, how is he doing it? And then I tried to wait in the green room for as long as possible, because when you left, you were right on stage, and I didn't want to... Like, the people were crazy. They started cheering when we got there.
There were some crazy people.
So I didn't want...
Just to drive down that fucking road, you got to be crazy.
Oh, yeah, I wanted your show to, like, be going on for as long as possible before I tried to sneak out, and it didn't really work. But then, luckily, they brought the chicken, and you kept doing, like, 5-minute checkups on me, like, Lee, how's the chicken? You doing okay?
Lee, I was so
and I
fucked
couldn't even
up
answer you. I was just like,
I don't know how we made it home, but I know we made it home in 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, I was...
An hour and 40.
On the way home, I was doing okay.
And I introduced you to a Puerto Rican Italian sandwich at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
I told you, but this is what you do with the 7-Eleven Italian sandwich.
Yeah, you were telling
Listen,
me. Okay.
We live in California before you start fucking judging. So for you people going, Joey, you didn't just say that. Yes, I did fucking say that. Because where do you get an Italian sandwich around here? I mean a real Italian sandwich like you grew up with on the East Coast. You don't. So what you got to do is dope them up. That's what I live off. Dope shit up sometimes. Pizza, I'm done with. So you got to dope it up. So you got to get Mama Celeste and dope it up. Or I got to go to one place in Tahunga, get the pie, bring it home, re-dope it up, and put it back in the fucking oven. It's brilliant. I've done it a couple times. It's delicious. I'll make you a fucking slice that.
What do you put on it?
Mozzarella. I put fucking some peppers on it. I put some real, you just re-dope it up. You put some olive oil on the fucking crust again.
Oh.
These savages don't fucking know. These Gentiles don't know how to fucking cook. You go to an Italian sandwich here, it tastes like shit. It tastes like shit. An Italian sandwich is ham, capacool, whatever the fuck, prosciutto or some shit, maybe some mortadella, some provolone, some motherfucking lettuce, some pepperoncini, some sweet peppers, vinegar and oil, salt and pepper, and fucking oregano. That's an Italian sandwich, or I hope that's as close as I know.
Sounds good to me.
Ham, salami, Genoa, Genoa, mortadella. I don't even think the prosciutto's in there. I don't even think the prosciutto, you don't need it. The capacool will do great with the fucking whatever, Listen, anyway, 7-Eleven got a sandwich like a pepperoni, salami, provolone cheese, and the bread ain't bad. What you do is you take that motherfucker home, you rebake it like an old school Stewart sandwiches. If you remember Stewart sandwiches, that means you're old school, and you were an old school fucking cokehead. You went into a bar, and they had like this little oven, and you tell them what you want, and they took a sandwich out, and it was in a baggie, and they put it in the oven with the baggie, and it was like popcorn the way it is today. It would go pop, and then they would open the bag, and the steam would come out, and your sandwich wasn't that bad. Me and my fucking gorilla buddies ate 1,000 of those at Joe and Mary's, and bars all over the East Coast, from the Bronx to fucking Connecticut when I used to go up there and do highlight. Stewart sandwiches were all over the East Coast. That's where I got the idea from. You take that fucking sandwich home, you put it in the oven, you rebake it a little bit, get the bread to get hard and crispy, burn that motherfucker.
Yeah.
It comes out, you shave some lettuce, shave it, not just put like fucking Adam's leaf. You shave some lettuce, you put some vinegar and oil on that motherfucker, some pepperoncinis.
Yeah, you were telling me to do this at 2 a.m. in a 7-Eleven parking lot. I'm like, I can't. I'm not going to do any of that right now.
Do you remember the two guys that came up to me and said, you look like the guy from The Longest Shot? I'm like, nah, I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
And they walked away.
And
there was a black guy in the car. And when they say that...
He's like, I know who you are. You're Joey Diaz.
But the two fucking dudes are like, excuse me.
And you're like, you got it. He's like, I'll let those dudes think they know. He said something at the end. He's like, I'll let those dudes not know or something. Or
fucking craziness. No, we had a good night. That was a good fucking night. I had a very peaceful weekend. I tell you what I did this weekend. I pulled the Lee.
What do you...
I didn't watch sports, though. I caught up on some movies.
Nice. And you feel relaxed, right? You feel nice?
Listen, man, I learned when I used to work at the Comedy Store a lot, Paul Mooney was there a lot. And I asked Paul, when you're looking to write comedy, what do you do when you're stuck? And he goes, go get entertained. And I got entertained. I watched 21 Grams, an old movie. I watched 2 movies back to back, which is very rare for me. I sat there and watched 21 Grams and whatever was on before that, which is very good. And I watched Captain Phillips again.
And you were so excited when you were watching that.
Yeah. The fucking 4 days in the raft. with fucking 4 black dudes. When they came out there, are you okay? Am I okay? I've been in a fucking dinghy with 4 fucking Somalians and no water and no soap. What do you think I fucking felt? Remember, he was great, Tom Hanks, in that.
I haven't seen it yet.
And I watched, what else? I just hung out with the family. I worked out. I went to Friday night Jiu-jitsu, and I had a good time. I got beat up. Saturday, I did nothing, just a family thing, and watched a little bit of UFC, but didn't really get caught up in it. And then Sunday, I did the same. Yesterday, I really didn't do shit.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad about it. I couldn't shake something. Like, they weren't feeling good. I wasn't feeling good. The best thing I did yesterday, I did that podcast with Steve Simone.
Oh, yeah.
I had a really good time with Steve Simone. We taped it over there at Marie ETC. We met at 9 in the morning. There was not a fucking soul there. And we just sat there and talked shit. A lot of noise, a lot of background noise, though, huh?
A little bit. The mics don't really catch it, so you're fine.
But besides that, that was it. It's really, I'm back in Salt Lake City this week, and the week after that I'm in Long Island. So I didn't really fucking want to do much, Lee.
Yeah.
I just really wasn't into going crazy this week, and I don't know why,
No, I mean, I agree. And I have to actually thank you. You told me, it was on the way down to San Diego, you told me.
What's that?
What I ended up doing for Paula.
Well, we were talking, and I was thinking about how, Paula goes to law school.
But you brought it up out of nowhere. Like, the way I remember it was we were just sitting there, and then you were just like, you looked at me like, when does Paula start her job? So you were thinking about it by yourself.
Yeah, listen, man, the Church of What's Happening Now is basically, I got a whole shit to tell you. The Church of What's Happening Now is basically about your growth. That's what it's become, how people see you've grown. If you listen to episode 2. Oh, God,
I don't even want to.
You wouldn't even take a fart to the face in episode 100, and now you're at least, fuck it, I'll take it. And it's also about making somebody's day, I don't want this to be, I don't ever want to be put on the pressure that this has to be fucking funny. Because if that's the impression, you're not going to be fucking funny every goddamn day. But that's all I could give you. I could give you making your day at one point of the fucking podcast with an idea or something, and watching Lee's growth. I'm a broke old man. I got nothing going on. And that's what the show's about. Me and Lee were driving to San Diego. We're fucking stoned as shit. We blast music. We heard every genre of fucking... Lee knows I love...
But it was so weird. I know we're getting off track a little bit, but you don't listen to music I think you would. Like, you listen to rock, but you're into, like, more of ballads. Like, you don't like the... You kind of skipped over the hard stuff, and you like it when they were really singing. Like, I was kind of surprised. I was like... Yeah, I was expecting more hard stuff, and you were like... The ones that they would get into and sing, I was like, oh, this is what he likes. This is...
Yeah, I don't like that heavy shit, kill your uncle, all that fucking music. I really don't. I like a lot of, Tom Petty was great on the way down. We listened to She's a Woman in Love. Yeah. Just these songs that you don't put on by yourself. Sometimes the radio reminds you how good music is. I'm very happy I have Sirius Radio, and I'm very happy I have Ozzy's Boneyard, and I get to listen to Jim Florentine, and we listen to Norton on the way down that night, and the best fucking station on there is this hip-hop station where they're just runaway yams. That's all I could call them. They're not even black people anymore. They're not even black. They started out being black. They passed the fucking one stage. Now they just hardcore gangster yams, and I love it. I put it on when I'm in the car with my wife. I put it on when I'm in the car with myself. I don't know what the station is. It's 5 or 6 stations after Ozzy's Boneyard that way, and it's old school. No, it's not even old school hip hop. It's just I don't even know what it is. They had Fat Joe on there one day. I was fucking dying listening to what they were saying. If you're easily offended, do not listen to this station. It's just black guys fucking dropping it. Dropping it. She's a hoe. Fuck that bitch. It was the Week Solange hit Jay-Z. Yeah. I never heard nothing like that. I thought our podcast was bad. Nothing. They were calling her a fucking everything, that dirty bitch. Oh. No career having motherfucker. I mean, just horrid things. But anyway, I love that. I love all that shit. Yeah. Lee, I listen to everything. I got the chance this weekend. I called you. You don't want to pay the extra $7. I watched something I never thought I'd watch. I watched the HBO Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions. I didn't watch all of it. Mm-hmm. I watched bits and pieces of it, but I turned it on as Bruce Springsteen was on. Okay. With the E Street Band. He was inducting the E Street Band. And it made me fall in love with Bruce Springsteen.
Why?
It was beautiful. He just fucking dropped it. And then I saw the Nirvana one. They inducted Nirvana. God damn!
They weren't in there yet? Wow.
No, the guy from R.E.M. brought them up and defined lightning in a bottle. And then I saw Dave Grohl's speech. Holy fuck. But one thing, Dave Grohl, Nirvana, Bruce Springsteen especially, was their love of music. They knew all. Let me tell you something, Kid Rock is a fucking knucklehead. But you ain't going to beat Kid Rock on Jeopardy about music. He knows everything. When they get to that level of musician, you've listened to everything. You've picked up a little something from everything. Mm-hmm. You know, it's really weird that it was the first time I picked up a heavy-duty correlation. You know, people might think Joey's funny, or people might not think I'm funny. Either way, it doesn't matter. But you see who your influences are. And with me, it wasn't as much as the comedians as the people I hung around with. And there's got to be, I have maybe 10 people that I hung around with that influenced me and nobody will ever know or hear of. And then I mix it in with Dice Clay and Rodney and Bill Hicks and a little bit of Kennison, and I become something, you know. When you're a musician, that's the same fucking thing. It's the same fucking thing. You know, you go to work. My wife said that the reason why she really quit her job this year wasn't because of the baby and wasn't because she wanted to help me with the T-shirts. It was because they gave her a 1.7% raise at her job. The girl that she worked with got like a 1.2. But my wife does accounting, and she realized that all the people in these other divisions, that the divisions were weaker, were getting 12% percentage raises and all this shit. That's what really hurt my wife. And man, my wife don't yell, but when I see her yell in the kitchen with the baby in the room, I know there's a problem. And when she was breaking this down to me last week, I realized what happens to us when we become artists. I hate saying that word. When one day we say, you know what, fuck society. Mm-hmm. Fuck society. You're not fucking me anymore. I'm putting my life in, and I'm getting up early. I don't steal from you. I don't even take an extra sugar in my fucking coffee. I get there at fucking a half hour early, and I leave a half hour later, and you give me 1.7% raise, but the fucking guy who comes in late and is drinking all the time and whatever, he gets 12%, whatever.
Right.
That's what happens to people one day. It's amazing how quick. For some people, it happens when you're 19, like it happened for me, and for some people, it happens when you're 40. But it's never too late. That's when you go, you know what? I've been putting all this effort into somebody else's shit. Mm-hmm. Fuck it. I'm going to do this for myself now.
Right. And
I'm going to do this. And this is what I'm going to make my own hours. And I don't want to ever work full time again. That's where you get your strength. I saw my wife snap this week.
Oh, it happens. And for me, I've told you my parents are, they weren't never against it, but they were always nervous for me. My mom finally got on board yesterday. She called me and she was, because I'm moving, we're talking. And she's like, so do you think, because the shows are starting right around now, she's like, so are you thinking about getting a new job? I was like, no, not really. I'm making less, but maybe I figured it out and I'm making enough money to survive. She's like, congratulations. She like was, because I see what she's going through now, like towards the end of her career, and it just the shit they put her through, and it's I was talking to Paula. I'm making less money, but I'm so much happier. Like, not going over the 405 every day, twice a day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So it's scary, but people start getting, like, understanding what you're talking about. And the worst part is it's not the other people who get a bigger raise, but it's like, the boss who doesn't come in until 12 and leaves early. And he talked. You see in the newsletter that he got a 20% bonus because corporate was happy. It's like that. That's the stuff that really pissed me off. It's like,
and it's like you guys are doing all the hard work, and somebody else has the smile. And now, you know, and like I tell people all the time, with me, I was 19, and I was like, why am I doing this? I could be doing this. I used to get furious. Like, I'm doing this for $10 an hour. I can make $10 an hour with one drug deal or kicking one window in. But that's not what I really wanted to do. I just wanted to fucking do something that I could work for myself.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I think I basically got into comedy. I mean, that's basic. That was the easiest business I could enter without having a ukulele or a fucking guitar or a piano or a monkey. You know, that was the easiest fucking thing I could get into. But I see it's a weird day when that happens to you. Like, for me, the day it snapped is the day I couldn't make my credit card payment. Like, I thought my credit card would be ruined. Like, I was raised on paying your bills. I thought my credit would be ruined. I was shot as an American the day I couldn't make my fucking credit card payment. You know, I was shocked as an American the day that I realized what life was after college. I realized that the day you graduate college, you're done. You're done. You're done. You have a realization. You go into these firms. You know, here you got your college degree, you're paying back your loans. And one day while you're writing that check to pay back your loans, you go, wow, this is basically it.
Yeah.
This is it.
So you're going to be paying them back forever regardless.
Yeah, you're like, this is it. I'm going to, in 10 years, I'm going to be the guy that's ahead of me. And then one day when I'm 65, I retire and they give me a gold fucking watch. And on the weekends, I mow the lawn and I take the kids to fucking church. And I go to Denny's and eat. That's it. This is it. This is all I'm going to do. Some people say, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And some people say, fuck it. I'm going to figure something else out. I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Thailand and get my dick licked. I want to paint houses. You know, whatever. It's so weird how way your inside comes out and overwhelms your beliefs. That's what it basically comes down to. And you have to commit. You have to fucking put everything you can. I don't work 40 hours a week. I work 80 hours a week. I talked to my brother Mike Runny yesterday. He's called the podcast. He just got a new job. He's 52. He's working 70 hours a week. He worked 19 hours on Friday as a general manager of a store. He's on salary. Yeah, he's making, 80, 90 grand a year. But on a fucking Friday, he's got to put in 19 fucking hours at 52.
Jesus.
Can you imagine doing construction work at 52? My buddy, Timmy, who drives a truck, I hope he's out of the hospital. I know he was home resting. He put the wrong pad on his back. He tells me he has to break down pallets every day and shit like that.
Jesus.
You fed your family. They put us into a bad position, so now we have to do something we don't want to do. And then we realize why we're not fucking happy.
Yeah. And I want to be an advocate for this. And I never did it because I always felt like you should have a job. For people who are my age, 25, let's say you work right out of college for a few years, take unemployment for a little bit if you're unhappy. You pay into it every week. Look at your check. You pay into it, and I never took it. And it saved me at the beginning of this. Now I'm doing okay, but it saved me at the beginning of this, and it's just sitting there. You're going to pay taxes into it, and you pay taxes for what they give you. So if you worked for... I worked for like 4 years or so, 3 years, and I think I have a year of benefits, something like that. So fucking use it. I mean, you're paying taxes into it. I was such a jerk off when I was younger. When I got fired from Masback Century, when I was going to high school and I got sick and they fired me, I collected unemployment. Because I got fired, they told me. But then afterward, I always thought that, why would I collect unemployment if I go out and steal? Mm-hmm. There's an American that could use it seriously. Maybe he's got a disability that he can't get a job. I really thought this way. And I never touched it again. It was Ari Shafir 5 years ago who said to me, you don't collect unemployment? I'm like, no. He goes, all the movies you do, you don't collect unemployment. You don't collect unemployment. Go get your money. Whenever you shoot a commercial, the next day you're eligible for unemployment. Like the fucking next day, you got to call in and go, hey, guess what? Yeah.
I'm ready for you. So that's who got me on. And I collected it for years with no shame. And you're right. It is your fucking money,
Right.
And it loosens you up a little bit. Gives you time to think and strategize.
Because if they're going to tax you 30%, because they tax people like us 30%. The people who can do millions of dollars, like Mitt Romney, who paid 17%. If they're going to tax us 30%, I'm going to take the part that they say I can take. So it's just people don't do it, and that could be your start for a new thing. It was for me.
It's funny how all this came about into diving into what you're going to do. When you dive into your belief, you have to dive into your belief, If you're going to be a musician, to fucking Dave Grohl. I think that's his name, the drummer from Nirvana, and now he's got the Foo Fighters. Mm-hmm. I know it's Grohl, but he was talking about sitting in the back of a van eating day-old pizza, fucking listening to Little Richard and something like that. You'd never think that the guy from Nirvana would listen to Little Richard. But you have to understand it. You show me a musician or comic that doesn't know the history of this fucking thing, or hasn't. Have you ever had a conversation with Mike Tyson? No, neither have I.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen? Have you ever seen him get interviewed?
No, he's great.
He knows everything about boxing. He'll talk to you about boxers in the 40s, boxers in the 30s. He'll go back to bare knuckle boxing. He'll go back to the history of fucking two cavemen, choking each other. He knows everything about it. And that's what I don't understand. Like, when you dive yourself into yourself, and you dive yourself into what you believe in, whether it's boxing, personal training, comedy, drawing, whatever, you have to know everything about anything. And when I heard Bruce Springsteen's speech, it was fucking beautiful. Especially when he talked about Clarence Clemens and the guy from The Sopranos, I don't know what the guy who played the fucking concierge, whatever his name was. I wasn't never a big Bruce Springsteen fan. I don't know much about him. When I was growing up in Jersey, I got beat up with him. So it was a turnoff. Mm-hmm. And I liked a few songs on some of the albums, but as I grew older, I appreciated him. The other night, it came full fucking circle. I really dug it because I understood his struggle. I understood his struggle as a man and to get somewhere, and then you reach it. It's not just, once you fucking make it as a musician, that's when it really gets hard, because now you got to follow up all that shit.
Yeah,
he said him and that guitar player knew each other for 50 fucking years. Him and that one Miami Steve Van Zandt, whatever his fucking name is, And it's amazing how this is what I do. This is what I do. I have to be really good at all the facets of it, In 2 weeks, I'm going to be on Marin. I acted on that, When we come do the podcast, I have to be good at doing the podcast. On Thursday nights when I get on stage, and I can't be good every night at this shit, but I have to dive myself into this, I have to dive myself into this shit. And it's amazing if you're gonna, when I finally realized, when that through whatever came to me, like that happened to my wife at 44, it came to my wife, and she was fucking yelling in the kitchen. She's like, why should I fucking, it's amazing when it hit me. I was very sad. Like, I thought the American way was the American way. You went to college, you got a job, you joined the country club, you hit golf balls, you hung out with fucking Gentiles. But it sucks. It sucks. It's a fucking struggle. And then at the end, you fucking die and you count your pennies from your retirement.
Right.
And you fucking die. You might as well live a fucking little, or put that belief that you're going to put into JCPenney or whatever corporation, whatever the company you're going to put in, your brother-in-law's plumbing company, whatever, and put it into yourself. Put the effort into yourself. And yeah, you're going, Joey, that's easy for you to say, go get, hey, listen, man, if you believe in yourself, you'll get a small loan. If you believe in what you're selling, you'll figure it the fuck out. Mm-hmm. We all do. We just sometimes think we're going to get an SBA loan from there. I don't know if they're giving out that many loans. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you choose on, you got to get a job to finance it yourself, or sell a kilo of blow.
Or at least, like when I was doing this and TV, I saved. I didn't like. I'm not driving around in a BMW. I could have spent the money that I was making from both places, but I saved like almost every penny I made from the podcast. And it like, if you're gonna be working, at least save it so that in a year or two you could spend a little bit of time and working on goals.
I was always never a big saver, because I was like, fuck, I'm gonna save money for when, please. And it's weird how. You have to, my wife, for example, one day we're going through shit, and my wife goes, do you see what I have saved from my job? And I looked, and I couldn't fucking believe it. And I go, how long did it take you to save that? And she goes, it took me 6 years, taking a little percentage of my check every week. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I had that fortitude. I wish I had and the way she says it, she goes, I just get it taken out of my check. I don't even see it. I don't have to touch it.
Oh yeah, I never got to that level, but yeah, it's what you gotta do. I mean, the way you talk about how you would rob a gas station, have $3,000 and be gone in 4 days, it freaks me out. I've never even really thought about it because I can't imagine that you didn't put like 1,000 away or.
It is. That's part of the fucking thrill.
Oof.
That was part of the high. The high was. In 3 days, I would go to the front desk of the hotel where I was staying, pay for 5 days, and go, fuck it, Friday at 12 o'clock is D-Day. You know what? Fuck it, let's do Saturday at 12 o'clock is D-Day. I got to figure it out by Saturday. and it would force me to be a savage.
Oh.
I could not lay my it's it's funny. I was telling my wife last night about George. George is starting a framing business with his sister, my friend George. And I said, Terry, I've when people pay me cash sometimes, I take the top 100 off and I save it.
Okay.
Right, and I save it, and then every couple of weeks I put it away in the bank. And it doesn't even go on my account. And the funny thing is, like my wife, I put away a couple hundred in there in the last 2 years. And my buddy George is opening up a framing company with his sister. And I seen what he's been doing lately. George really had to pick it up. George divorced his wife. He has a different girlfriend. He lives in grandma's apartment, and she gets a low rent. So he picks up the rent, and he lives there. Well, that was all going away pretty soon. So I told him, I go, George, you got to pick it up. That's it. I go, once you got to start paying child support and her house payment and your rent, you can't rent outrageously. You can't go get a $2,000 house because you're paying $15 on the one and you still got to pay child support. So you got to figure it out. I was busting his balls for a year. I'm like, you better start looking for a part-time job. As a doorman at night, you better do something. He took my advice, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own business. He wholesales frames for this guy. Okay. But the guy's spreading his business out thin. Okay. And George sees it coming. George already saw it coming, so he went to his sister. His sister originally had the framing shop with the mother. When she got married, they moved away, so she couldn't help no more. So the mother sold the business in '85, and George has been freelancing since '85, not really with a home, and it really takes away from him. Mm-hmm. He rents a small office like ours, and he what do you call that shit? He does the guy's wholesale work, but he's losing thousands of dollars a month. And George understands this. He has 2 daughters. He was raising them. He had to drive them around. So you just take whatever you can so you could raise your children. But now the children, he gets the daughter on the weekend, and every other weekend the one daughter is older. So he has more time. So he was telling me he's looking for a warehouse. So I told my wife last night, you know what? He's been getting up the last couple of Fridays, Sunday mornings, and going to different farmers markets just to get his name out there. And he's doing good. Yeah. Like he was pissed yesterday. He said he only sold 2 things, but his sister sold like 8 things, But I go, George, you're getting out there. And this is how people start. You got to get out there. And he knows. He goes, I don't know if it was a waste of money. I paid $250 to rent a booth. I go, what would your options be? Would you be at home watching TV or playing with your daughter? You're out there. Nothing happens on the couch, bro. Right. Nothing fucking has ever happened on the couch. Yeah, you want to stick your hand in the couch and pull up 35 cents? You could do that all fucking day and smell somebody else's asshole on those fucking whatever, but nothing happens on the couch. Get out there. And it's funny, so I told my wife, I go, I'm going to take those couple hundred, I'm going to give it to George to start up, whatever he needs, man. If I give him $1,000 to start his little business up,
And at that point, like that 1,000 it's like 20,000. Like when you're first starting out, or especially when back to what you told me to do for Paula.
I'm making his day because let's face it, when I bumped into George, March of '85.
This she when she's kicking in, sorry.
Oh, please. when I bumped into George in March of '85, when he was working as a landscaper, and he was raking somebody's leaves in their backyard, and I was burglarizing the joint, and I was casing the neighborhood out, and I saw him, and he opened me. Listen, man, I was a month away from getting arrested. There's no 2 fucking ways about it, guys. And I was going to do 10 years. They were going to give me at least 8. I had no ties to the community. I was robbing those fucking gas stations. I was doing 1,000 other things. The more spaghetti you throw, when you're doing crime, I used to do crime in 3 months. After 3 months, something's going to go down. You can't do it for 3 months every day. Like every day you got to get up and make a living, break into an apartment, sell nickel bags. Eventually something's going to happen. It's going to stall your fucking growth. Okay. You're going to get arrested somewhere, some little mistake. And I had already gotten arrested in New York for selling like hot jewelry. I sold hot jewelry with an ID, and they came and got me. So I already knew it was around the corner. The whiff of the police were around the corner, So when I bumped into George, I fucking say what you want to say. George saved my life by 10 years. You know, George he let me stay with his family for 3 months. I helped him out as much as I could. But I learned more in those 3 months. George has been my brother since I was 15. Since freshman year of high school, George Kolodinsky has been my brother. I mean, guys all in. You know, when I met people from Cliffside, they'd say to me, "You're friends with George." Fuck it, yeah, give him a drink, front him a grandma, whatever I needed, because I was friends with George growing up. And it's amazing that our friendship has lasted 36 fucking years.
Wow.
And, you know, I just want to make his day. You know, he doesn't listen, so he'll never know about this. But it's amazing.
Get together, George. You should be listening.
Nah, George, hey, listen. He used to listen from his phone, I think.
I know, he called in.
Yeah, he's called in. No worries, but it's just he'll never know. But it's just amazing that sometimes you do have to make somebody's day. You really do, man. And it doesn't take a fucking diamond. It doesn't take a dinner at Ruth Chris. It's just a little fucking gesture, man. And I'm happy you did that, Lee. I'm happy.
We didn't tell him what we...
Tell him.
So we were driving down, and you're like, "When does Paula start her job?" I said, "Tomorrow." And you're like, "Here's what you do. You get her a nice card. You stick whatever $100 is. I don't remember how you said it. A yardstick. You put it in there, and you tell her, "Here's this. Go get your nails done before you start the job, and you can look pretty." Like something like that. I'm high now, so it's
you
all
want to look fucking
together.
sharp. You know what I'm saying? You want your feet and your fingers to look fucking sharp.
So I did that, but I went to the pharmacy to get a card, and there was one that was perfect. It was like, "I believe in you," but it was this whole big long poem of like, "I believe in goodness because of you," and I just started giggling. And then there was this one where this hairy caveman was like, "I'm a stupid caveman." And then I find you, and I chose that one, and I put it in there, and like I had to go. Oh,
you put a whole 100 or 520s?
520s. I didn't.
Jesus Christ!
I didn't have time to go get
you gotta
a
go to Mac and put an even bean in
I was picking her up that next day, so I picked her and her cousin up at something. And I had to go drive her cousin back, and I gave her the card once her cousin got out of the car. And she started crying just because he was so happy. And it threw me for a loop because, I've got her stuff that was more expensive than that, and it didn't have that effect on her. But it made me feel good. And
making somebody's fucking day, dog, with the littlest gesture is the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
Even calling somebody and going, "Yo, cocksucker, wash that helmet," and hanging up on them. Because they'll call you back and go, "What the fuck is that?" And then they'll go to work and go, "Fucking one of my friends called me this morning, told me to fucking get up and hung up on me and shit." Just little things that you giggle at, you know? Listen, at the end of the fucking week, when you're laying in that casket and you're ready, you're going to giggle one time.
Right.
You're going to go, "That motherfucker made my day," you know? Lubes used to always make my day. Pick me up, give me a Valium. "I got this joint for you, Uncle Joey." You know, whatever.
Oh,
People,
my God.
You know, this kid Andrew made our day when he put this little thing together. This, you know, some people, well, look at this. This took his time. This is great. I love when people do little things like this. Andrew put this, him and his girlfriend made a little devil. The devil's getting a dick up the ass. The other two are in the corner. They already got fucked. You know, it's little things like that make somebody's day sometimes.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just call somebody and tell them you love them. Where's the fucking jam? Where's I Want to Be Around today? It's fucking 6:45.
Way ahead of you.
Get up, cocksucker. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Make somebody's day, but also make your own fucking day. Grab your cock, salute that motherfucking flag. What? Your heart. How stoned are you, Lee Syatt?
Medium. I'm not.
Medium.
Yeah.
Well, get ready to rock. That's a triple dose. Let's do a vapor hit. You want a vapor hit?
I'm okay.
Let's do
Okay, so you were the highest I've ever heard you yesterday, and then you wake up at 6 in the morning and you want to do it. I always like taking days. You don't take days off? Like, jeez.
I took Friday and Saturday off.
You did not?
Yes, I did.
Oh, thank goodness.
With Tony Bennett. Why are you depressing me?
Oh, okay.
Look at these fucking clouds from a vapor pen. Are you kidding me or what? What are you doing? Hit that motherfucker, Lee, and hold it in. You gotta hold it in. It's good for your lungs. What's that? That's a junior fucking pilot hit. What the fuck? You want to listen? You want to navigate that plane and lose it like the Malaysians did? Take a deep fucking hit, will you? Deep, deep, deep in the lungs of death.
Someone send this to TMZ.
Fuck TMZ.
Donald Sterling will be so happy.
Fuck TMZ. Fuck that. TMZ. Crime stopping and shit on people. That chick got in trouble. She said racist fucking. I like it. I like it. You're a fucking animal. Look, you put gel in your hair, dude, today. You're smoking. Last week you got a stop sight shirt on. Today you got a green light on. Yeah. What do you got? Red and green shirt? What is this fucking Santa Claus in July, cocksucker? Give me that.
Oh my god.
That was a nice hit. I'm proud of you. That was a very fucking nice hit. Look at you fucked up Tony Bennett to the L11. It fucked them up. You just cut them up into pieces. While Leaf flopping to death,
Oh my god.
I'm gonna give some shout outs to my
That
main
shit is
motherfucking.
strong.
First off, to my main man. Happy birthday, Joe Van Axman, cocksucker. My little brother, Kyle Donnelly. Roz Dude. Adderall, you bad motherfucker. Joey Rooklyn, looking good. Leston Thomas, I love you. I always see you, cocksucker, with the hairdo. Thomas Heater, you bad motherfucker. Javier 93, what are you, nuts?
Oh, what?
Or what? And Camaro Jeff, wash that asshole. It's Monday, cocksucker.
Because he drives a Camaro?
I don't fucking know. His name is Camaro Jeff. You gotta tell him something.
What if he drove like a Mustang?
What?
He couldn't be Camaro Jeff anymore. Like, what if he just was...
Listen, just look straight
Times
at the
got
screen.
bad.
Just look straight at the screen. Mind your business. What do you gotta bother fucking people for, all right?
Isn't it? I don't know. I want to know if he drives a Camaro.
I don't fucking know. I never asked him. Why don't you get him on the phone?
Right.
He'll hook up Camaro Jeff and go, Camaro Jeff. Maybe he likes fucking Camaros and he has a Cadillac now because he's got 6 fucking kids. Did you ever think of that, Lee?
I hope
What am I
not.
going to do with this fucking youth of America? I got my main man, Mike Pyle, UFC fighter, calling in at 7 a.m. I love Mike Pyle. I met him through Eddie Bravo. Yesterday I fucked up. I did not go to the Eddie Bravo Invitational last night. That was part of what made me feel very bad last night. I did not make Eddie's day yesterday. I fucked up. I thought the Invitational started at 5. My plan was to leave the house I was going to leave at like 3, try to do a Duncan podcast. I was going to do Duncan's podcast, hang out with Duncan for a little while, and then I was going to shoot to the EBI and sit there from like 5 to 6:30 and go home. And at least eat dinner with Mercy and bathe her. But the Invitational didn't start till 6:30.
Oh.
And that's right in the middle of fucking, Good Morning America in my fucking house. From 5 to 7 in my house, it's fucking chaos. From 4:30, from the time we get back from the park till 8 o'clock, it's just chaos, even with one little child. Because we both eat, she eats, I gotta do some shit, the phone rings unnecessary. I mean, there's 1,000 things going on. I don't know why. So it's very hard. I can't go to Jiu-jitsu at 7:30. It's very hard even for me to go at 8 o'clock at night. That's why I gotta go in the daytime.
Yeah.
Today I can't go. I got a bunch of fucking shit going on today. I wanted to go to kettlebell class. I can't fucking go, but the knee feels a lot better. Thank you for the people who sent me emails and exercise programs. One thing about the fucking church is that if you put it on Twitter, if anybody from the church needs an exercise program or a diet or a fucking personal trainer or anything, Jeremy's around, guys, put it on Twitter and say attention church, put some hashtag. I don't even know what a hashtag is. People sent me fucking exercises for my knee. Some fucking kid, a doctor, sent me a thing I could do with a ball just to reduce the pain. Some other people sent me stuff I could put on it, like a lady sending me some type of brace. Listen, man, I love you for motherfuckers, but you guys got to spread out amongst us. We got to start making money. We got to start taking care of each other. Not me. I'm talking about you guys as a whole. There's a lot of you guys that hit me up from I noticed a lot of people have hit me up lately from fucking Utah and Texas and Houston. You guys got to work together in Houston because it's amazing, all the shit, all the great exercises and little things, breathing. Every time I put that I have a problem with something on here, Lee, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I at least get 3 emails from people going, Joey, you were wrong about this. Try this. And it really, I don't argue with people. I take their advice because maybe this is their fucking field. And 9 out of 10, it is their fucking field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you have something, put it on this Twitter page, on this, what do they call them, a thread? I don't even know. because it's very interesting, the things I've learned from fucking you guys.
There's a Facebook fan page.
What's that?
There's a Facebook page for the church.
Is there? Some girl sent me a workout with a wall. Like, I think she was telling me that she does this to rehab people, but she believes that if I do this before the surgery, my knee would get strong. I swear to God, Lee, I did all 3 times last week.
Okay.
And the swelling went down.
Whoa.
To the T. She goes, this is what's going to happen. Then elevate it, then put ice on it for 15 minutes, and get back on and walk on it for 6 minutes. I mean, this girl sent me a fucking thing, so thank you, man. Thank you for all the love you give us. Thank you for always reaching out. Thank you for always doing all that type of shit. I got some interesting, I also got you get good shit and you get bad shit. I got a very fucking interesting email, like Thursday, from somebody, and I got it, and I didn't look at it till yesterday. I didn't even, this is how high I was last night. That in the 3 years or 4 years I've been doing a podcast, it's the second time I didn't answer emails.
You didn't answer emails?
No, I couldn't even look at them. I tried. I opened them up at about 6, and I could not do it. When the baby went to take a bath, I ran in there real quick just to see if I could knock off 10 of them.
Yeah.
I read one that fucking made me cry, so I closed it and fucking went out the couch and sat there. That's how fucking high I was. That's how fucking high I was. It was such a touching fucking email about somebody's family that I had to shut the fucking thing down and go lay down on the couch. That's how, it's amazing the things that, this is why we're trying to put, I went and looked at couches this week.
Okay.
And I couldn't find couches that were high enough. I left Sarah Tiana a message. I'm going to bring the table over here, and we're working on the advice show. It's just going to take a little while. I want to make the studio look right on that side. I'm going to put a perfect couch, and I want to have the perfect pictures and whatnot. But it's amazing. We always get advice. Somebody sent me a fucking thread this week from a web page where they were just bashing me.
Really?
And it's hysterical. But it didn't bother me because they were telling the truth.
Okay.
They were telling their opinion, the truth. The other day we had a conversation here about a show I saw that I just did not think was funny and how society thinks it's fucking hilarious. And these guys, it was a thread that somebody sent me, and I think it was from a Duncan Trussell web page or something. Is that what you call them? Like a board?
Yeah.
A board. And they made some interesting points. I've always heard...
You should write back.
No. I won't write back because I don't want it to become... It's not a confrontation or something. Hey, listen, man. I never peep.
Okay.
I never fucking peep. Okay. A lot of people always say, don't Google yourself. I know people Google themselves constantly and find shit. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to hear my voice. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that somebody sent me this and said, look what I found, I guess, on somebody's webpage thread or a board.
Yeah.
Is that what you call them? And it was just, 15 fucking pages of hate, of not some intelligent hatred, and I understood it the same way I would explain. I just wouldn't say something sucks. They said, some people said that Joe Rogan was selling all of us, that they didn't think I was funny or Ari was funny, that the people thought Joe and Duncan were funny. They thought that I was a slime ball and Ari was a fucking idiot, whatever. And it was very weird to read,
mm-hmm. What do you feel like when you read that?
You just feel disconnected, but I understand. No, I'm not that type of person. I'm not a hypocrite like that. I get it. I fucking get it. Listen, once in a while, if you want to hit me and go, I don't like what you do,
mm-hmm.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's when you hit me and insult me. There's a big difference. Hey, you fat bastard, fuck your stupid fucking show. Okay, it's on. But if you want to hit me with an email or something like that, like a gentleman, and go, listen, I listen to your show, it's vulgar, you're racist, or you're fucking insensitive, or you smoke dope. Some guy wrote, I tell you what some guy wrote, that he never paid attention to me, Ralphie May, Jackie Gleason, or any other comedian that's fat. Because why would you listen to a public figure if they were obese? That was the one that made me laugh. That you would never, a comedian should be in shape, whatever. That was the one. So a comedian should just be very attractive. That was how shallow this motherfucker was.
Hasn't paid much attention to comedy.
Right,
recently,
hasn't. And that's why you have to, one guy said we were a one-trick pony. That Rogan talks about certain subjects, and I talk about certain subjects over and over again. All right, tremendous. That's the subjects we know. I'm not going to talk about something I don't know and be a fucking farce about it. I'm not going to come out here and make believe I know about everything. I don't know about it. I don't know about anything. I know about 2 or 3 fucking things down to the wire. But that's it, and I've grown from there. But it's the only thing that bothered me was that people called me a liar. That was the one I didn't like, for sure.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people on the thread that also made viable points. All right, there he is. Mr. Pyle, what's happening, brother?
What's happening, JD?
Good morning, my friend. Thank you very much for taking the time and calling me. What's going on over there?
Oh, now I'm just everybody's up for the day now.
How's the baby?
He's fantastic. He's in there eating right now, as a matter of fact.
10 months old?
10 months.
And is he walking?
Oh, yeah, he's walking all over the place, man. All over the place.
And how do you feel?
Great. It's awesome for your son to walk to you and lift his arms up for you to pick him up and hold him.
It's tough for you to leave the house anymore, huh?
Yeah, it is.
It really is. It really is. I didn't even make it to Eddie's Invitational last night because of my house. So after we spoke, I couldn't do it, man. It was Sunday, and there was too much going on, and it was fish sticks and Wally Kazam, and I bought her a scooter, and
there's a new boss in the house, man, and that's all there is to it. I don't care how tough you are, how badass you are, how mean of a person you might be, or whatever. A kid will soften you up in a second. Your own kid will soften you up in 1 second, man.
No, it's a weird thing. What's going on in your world? You training?
I am. I will be going just probably a couple hours after I'm through talking with you.
And do you have a fight
and
set
you'll probably have me so pumped up. I'll go and bash somebody when I get to the gym.
Oh, please! I need for you to go in there like a fucking savage today. What do you got today? You got striking, you got conditioning, you got jiu-jitsu, you got everything today.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be MMA orientated training today. I'll lead the class today because owner is out doing a reality show right now. So I'll step in and fill his shoes until he gets back being famous, and then lead the guys a little bit, and then maybe choke a couple of them out, and then come home.
It's amazing the life you guys lead, man. I fucking love it. I've learned so much from watching MMA. I've learned so much and applied it to comedy, But you've been around. You're the real fucking deal. You are the real deal, my friend.
I've been around a long time in this game anyway. As young as it is, I've been around almost as long as it's existed. I've been a participant as long as it's existed almost.
On one of the fights when you fought, somebody mentioned that your first fight was against Rampage Jackson in Memphis.
Yep. Actually, that was actually about my fifth fight. It was Rampage's first fight. It was around my fifth fight. I don't remember. I didn't remember any of the names of my opponents. So of course, Sure Dog couldn't honor it and just put up some magical number up there with no names beside it. But anyway, that still, nevertheless, just 5 fights in, you're fighting a beast like him. A big man, and I was way out of my weight class. My guy had gotten hurt, and the promoter called me and said, well, even real fight, your guy got hurt, whatever. I'm 175 pounds, which was the weight limit. And I said, well, I want to fight. Who do you got? He said, well, we got that guy Rampage that howls, like a wolf all the time. I said, let's fight him. So yeah, well, he's 210 pounds, so I don't give a shit. Let's fight. I'm ready to fight. So we did, and the rest is history. I got thrown around a little bit, slammed around. I got picked up, thrown out of the ring into my corner's arms a little bit, and they just kind of shoved me back underneath the bottom rope and told me to go get after it.
Now, let me ask you something, Mike. When you were younger before that, were you a fighter? Did you get into many fights? Did you have good hands?
No, actually, I was a good kid. I was all redneck, small town. I spent my time on a pond somewhere fishing, or just at home running around in the woods, or something like that. You know what I mean? But my mom moved. I went to I think 4 different schools in my lifetime. So, we've had little pricks you have to, slap around a little bit so they leave you alone. Got into a few fights like that. Just kids being kids and picking on the new guy, and then the new guy whoops their ass, and then they want to be friends with you. But other than that, no, not really a lot of fights. Maybe probably grew up maybe 10, a handful of fights growing up only. And yes, Joey, I won every single one of them in kung fu fashion.
Now let me ask you this: what was your first art? Did you learn wrestling first, or jiu-jitsu, or?
Taekwondo was my first at 18 years old.
That's when you joined at 18.
What's that?
You joined Taekwondo at 18?
Yep, I was 18 years old, about to turn 19.
And how long did you do that for?
My little cousin, who was 7, his mom was taking him to Taekwondo all the time, and I was always interested in Taekwondo to begin with, martial arts, because I grew up, watching Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee, so I was always pumped to watch one of those movies. That was my shit. I loved martial arts. It's just that the small towns that we always lived in never had, access to a martial arts gym. It was just too small. It's just the way it is.
So this was when you were in Dresden.
Yep, that was when I was in. Well, no, actually, I moved away from Dresden when I was 17. I thought I was a big boy and I needed to go out into the world and pay bills and have bills and shit like that. Thought I was big and tough. So I left home at 17, moved to Alabama with my cousin, who was a lot older than me with children, and her children were in Taekwondo, and that's why I joined Taekwondo, because they were going and I could drive them there and things like that. I was already driving them, going and picking them up occasionally anyway, so I'd watch the class and I was like, this is interesting, but it just wasn't tough enough for me. That Taekwondo, they just kind of tag. They just play tag. You know what I mean? They don't really hit each other.
You wanted to rock and roll. You were ready to rock and roll.
I wanted to rock and roll, so she let me kind of get a little bit more. The instructor kind of let me get a little bit more, a little bit more physical with one of the adults that were there. That was an old kickboxer, and he kicked shit out of me. That's the first time I actually ever felt a liver shot in my life. He kicked me in my liver, and I hit the floor, whining and trying to gasp for breath. I thought, my God, that is awesome. That is a powerful, painful technique. I have to do that to someone. One day I'm going to do that when I grow up. But anyway, that guy, he kind of, turned me on to being what it is to be tough and what it really feels like to use a martial art in a more physical way than Taekwondo was allowing me, with the rules and things like that. But he didn't seem to care to whip on me at all. But I thanked him for that, and it made me tough. And it'll either make you or break you. At that point, you're like, well, this is a little too physical for me. Let's go back to tag one another in class. But I stuck with it, and shit, became the toughest son of a bitch in Dresden.
It's amazing. how this happens. Like, you go into a gym one day, you know, whenever I talk to fighters, I always expect them to say, well, I beat the fuck out of everybody I fought after 12. No, it's the other way around. You walked into something and it evolved, and one day you're like, you know what, man? I could do this shit. I could fucking do this. I couldn't imagine getting punched in the face for a fucking living. You know, I could take a fucking knuckle to the head or something and hopefully not go down, but to do it for a living, Mike Powell, I respect the fuck out of you guys. And to evolve, to keep evolving, you know, Mike, every time you fight, you got to get a little better.
Yeah, you have to, because hell, the other guy is. The thing is with the way it's going now, for me, I went through all the stages and all the changes that MMA went through. You know, I started training when I was, you know, fighting when it was no holds bar, and then it was NHB. Remember that?
Yeah.
NHB?
Yeah.
They abbreviated it to make it sound a little more sophisticated. An NHB fighter, and you know, I was an NHB fighter. I went through all those times where, you know, you basically kind of had a guy who was a that barely could punch, and you knew you were going to be in a wrestling match. You knew you were going to be wrestled, right? But you know, times have changed. Everybody's getting better, and now everybody can wrestle their ass off. They can punch very well. They can kick. They can grapple. They can submit. They can, you know, motherfuckers are jumping off cages and side kicking people in the face. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, I've been there since the beginning, and now better coaches as far as strength and conditioning, and better, more open-minded striking coaches have gotten into the game and evolved and started, and now is starting to produce some very, very good fighters, because they got, you know, a good grasp and a good idea of, you know, what's going on with the sport, and you know, and they know what the hell they're doing. It's not just a boxing coach or just a wrestling coach or you know, et cetera. Now we're starting to develop some, you know, young guys that you know, 5 years ago come in when they were 18. Now they're, you know, in their middle 20s, and the first thing they were doing was mixed martial arts, not
karate,
you know,
or taekwondo, yeah, boxing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pure, like, here you go. You got to take down, wrestle, punch, kick, grapple, submit, and all that shit. You ready to go? You know what I mean? So, and there's been some good coaches that evolved and now retired and been in the game back in the day, and that, you know, and been around it, and you know, and the sport's young when it's like 20 years old, dude. That's, you know, I mean, 20 years is not anything. That's nothing for a sport. You know, to evolve and grow, that's 20 years is nothing. And look where it's at now. There's just nothing more fascinating than two guys pitted against one another and you know, and it's just a human chess match. You know, they're getting after it, man. And it's been, I mean, it's as humans, we've documented it over the thousands of years that we've been on this earth. And, you know, you see all that, even down to hieroglyphics. People are, you know, they show a couple of dudes wrestling, grappling. And then, you know, back in the Roman days, guys, you know, the gladiators. I mean, it's infatuating. Fighters will always be around until the end of time, because it's just the ultimate. You know, it's just the coolest. Yeah, soccer players are cool, basketball players are cool, but you get to sit down and pick a fighter's brain or talk to him about fighting. It's just something that will always remain interesting. I mean, because we are a small percentage of the human race. We're 0.5 or something. I don't know. I haven't crunched numbers, but the people that walk the earth that do what we do. It's a very small number, and people are even boxers, you know what I mean, and put us all together, boxers and MMA fighters. It's just a small world and community. Not a lot of us out there that's able to do it, you know. It's interesting. It's interesting to sit and talk to a fighter or watch it. It's, like I say, it's part of history, and it always will be. The humans beating the hell out of one another, people will stop and watch it every time.
It's so fucking interesting. You're right. No, hey, listen, man.
Hey, man, you're walking down the street and then a soccer game breaks out. You're going to keep walking. You're going to keep on walking. You're going to walk on, or you're walking by a baseball field. They're playing baseball. Yeah, so what? You're going to keep talking to your buddy about that new engine that you're going to put in your Trans Am tomorrow or whatever. But you walking by a park and two dudes start scrapping, you're going to stop and you're going to watch it.
You really are.
It's something it's captivating. It's interesting to watch people, especially at the level that, that UFC has brought the MMA community, as far as knowledge and exposing the fighters to the public and letting them understand that, hey, we're not a bunch of, dumb meatheads that just get in the cage because we like fighting. It's an art. It's a skill set where we are professional athletes, just the same as a basketball player or a football player. We prepare. We have to prepare. We're professional athletes now, and and UFC's done a really great job at getting that point across and exposing the fighters to the public so they can shake their hand and talk with them. It's not that often you get to sit and talk with your favorite golf player or football player or whatever, but you see us everywhere. We're approachable, and for the most part intelligent. And friendly. It's a great sport, man.
No, I love it. I love what's happening with it. When I first watched the UFC, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. 10, 15 years ago, I wasn't too crazy about it. But I started paying attention after I saw Anderson beat up Chris Liebman. I just had it on my TV when that fight was happening. And once I saw Anderson Silva, I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. I was really into it.
Yep.
And after that, I became a fan. And I became a fan of your lives. I like your lives. I like that exactly. It's just not two guys beating each other up and during the week juicing and going to a bar. It's, people have families. You're a family man. You're not out, fucking having orgies every night. You're a family guy. You get up, you go down there, you do your training, and you go back home, and now you have to be this different person. Here you are in your mind 3 hours earlier. Your focus is on breaking somebody's shoulder, whatever. You're in a fucking cage practicing. You have to get your mind set up, and now you got to go home and shut that off and pick up a child and, wash a dish and tell your wife you love her. It's brilliant that you have those two different mindsets, but just what goes into being a fighter, not just a UFC fighter, but the whole thing. We were talking about dedication this morning, Mike Powell, that people think that you just do jumping jacks and hit a bag all day. There's so much more. I wish it was, and even for comedy, there's people think that you get up at 2 and we just get on stage and crack a microphone and smoke a joint. I'm 51. I fucking work harder now. You got to write. You got to prepare. You got, and I can't even imagine being a fighter. The nutrition, the jiu-jitsu, the wrestling, the running, the conditioning, and then oh my God, and then you got to pray that you stay healthy. That the guy's not rolling next to you and he bumps into your ankle. Because there's freak accidents.
Yep.
So it's such
all the time, man.
All the stars have to be aligned. Your head has to be right. I give you guys so much fucking props on the preparation that America doesn't see. America doesn't see the preparation that goes into, they work 9 to 5. Their focus is on other parts. They just, turn on Fox Sports on Saturday, and they're like, look at these fucking savages. They don't understand. Even with pro football, they don't understand that shit starts every fucking Monday, that there's film to watch, and you got to prepare for their defense and prepare for their offense. This is the same in any professional, but what you guys have done has really taken it to the next level in preparation. And you especially, you're a fucking badass savage. Your last fight, you were a fucking savage. A savage. But I think Ronda Rousey was on the card, so they forgot about my brother Mike fucking Pyle. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Rocky's coach went to talk to Rocky to try to get him to manage him the first time. And he's telling him why you need a manager, because he knocked out whatever, but it was the same night that Joe Louis knocked out, so nobody knew what happened. But I saw what happened. You came out like a fucking savage. Your Muay Thai skills were all over the place. That's why I love you, Mike Pyle. Plus, you're from fucking the best place ever. I love all that stuff out there. That's why I married my wife. After I went to see her family and I saw those hills and how they eat those squirrels, I was fucking in, Jack.
How they eat those squirrels.
They do. My wife's family eats squirrels.
Oh, yeah. I'll believe it. I've ate a squirrel myself.
Oh, and they look delicious.
I have hunted, shot, and eaten a squirrel more than one occasion.
And how big are they when you eat them? How big are they?
I think that's small, man. About as big as your foot.
Oh. And you deep fry them, right? My wife deep fries them like chicken.
Yeah, you can deep fry them. You can make a stew out of them. You do whatever, just whatever you do with any other meat, except for bacon.
Look at my co-host, the Flying Jew. He's freaking out. What, you don't eat squirrels, Doug?
I'm so high right now that I'm eating a squirrel.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like a little fried squirrel with some fucking mashed potatoes, Lee, you'll be jumping up and down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. That's good shit.
When is your next fight? What are they saying?
Well, I asked for August, and the email reply was, I will get you a fight in August.
Yeah, they got a couple cards coming up, so.
Yeah, I couldn't. You know what? I couldn't even tell you what's going on in the next cards or whatever. So many.
Oh my God!
It's blowing up so big, so fast. I'm, and all these new names coming on. On board. I can't. I can hardly keep up with myself. Getting to the gym and. Like you said, coming home being dad, it's like, damn, who's fighting next? Oh, there's a fight Wednesday and Saturday. Okay, all right. Every week there's almost a fight. It's awesome. It's blowing up, man. It's they were just in Berlin and Brazil, and now they're coming back home here in the States. It's just nuts, man. It's nuts.
Where are the fights this weekend? Because I know there's fight Saturday. There's fucking fight Saturday, brother. The 7th, and there's fights the 15th. I mean, there's fights the next 3 weeks, I think. What do you think, Lee? What do you see there? It's either a Johnson against somebody. It's blowing up.
It's
DeMarcus defending his belt.
It's Ben Henderson and.
Oh no! Yeah, that's right. Warner. And where are they fighting?
Let me see.
It's
Ben Henderson and who?
It's maybe Jamie Varner. Let me look at it.
No, it's not Jamie Varner.
Oh, here we go. Never mind.
No, he just
Henderson versus Khabibov.
Real bad.
Khabibov, the Russian dude.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So
Khabib.
Yeah.
Khabib.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
That'll be a good one.
Sanchez versus Pearson.
That's that cat that
Dodson versus Moraga.
With that white wig on, huh?
Oh yeah, that big weird hat. Yeah, that was weird.
Oh, that's who's fighting him? That guy against Ben Henderson? Oh my God, and where are they fighting out of?
Albuquerque.
Oh shit! You might have to jump in the car, Lee, and go down there and report directly from fucking Albuquerque. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Go down there and stop at the Indian reservation, get $10 in quarters. What else is
part Indian?
Who?
Who?
Lee is Jewish.
I'm Jewish.
Lee is Jewish. He could be Indian if he needed to. My wife is half Indian. Her family up there in Tennessee. That my mother-in-law.
Joey said, "Who?
Who?
It's how, man, not who. It's
how? Who? You got to be careful with the Indians. They get pissed off. They get mad at the Braves. Can you imagine what they'll do to us?
Oh yeah, they'll get mad. There's a friend of mine here that's I don't know how much Indian, but I mean, he looks, a lot Indian. I think Paiute tribe that was out here. He's a cool cat. He loves his beer. He's a beer man. He's a brew master out here. Got his tribe tattooed on the inside of his lip.
That's when you know you're fucking dedicated to the tribe, my friend. The Crips don't do that shit. Let me ask you something.
Run.
The blood runs.
What?
Let me ask you something. What gym do you train at now?
Syndicate.
And what syndicate? Who's over there with you?
Syndicate is it's been a gym that you probably remember the name. It used to be started out back in the day, more than 10 years ago, Combat Club. Then he joined forces with Zion. Then it becomes Zion Training Center out here. Then he joined forces with Warrior Gym. Then that didn't pan out. Then it became a Throwdown Gym. And that didn't work out with the partnerships and all that. So then he said, "The hell with it. He's going to go solo. Call it Syndicate."
Okay. And
owner's John Wood. Said he's been the owner of all those names, and same gym, just changed the name on the outside, right? For 10 years now, or 10 years plus.
His sign guy must love him.
Right?
The guy that makes his signs fucking loves him. He's like, uh-oh, here we go.
No, the bank's got to love him every time he changes the LLC.
Oh, Jesus.
You got to pay some more shit.
So you're fighting out a syndicate now. Those are your trainers.
Yep, those train. Yep. I train a boxing coach. Is actually more of a private boxing coach, not part of the gym. That's Jimmy Gifford. And then another one of my striking coaches that I use for the most part all the time is Nate Pettit, and he's out of Syndicate Gym. And then I'm out of Syndicate. John Wood, who owns the gym, has been a real close friend of mine ever since I moved out here to Vegas, and I've always went to his gym. His gym has always been close to my house. Usually is always the closer gym, and I used because I used to be out of the Extreme Couture.
Right, I remember.
And but I was always once or twice a week I was over at my buddy's gym. Anyway, I just represented Couture's gym, and then so I parted ways from there from Syndicate. I'm sorry, from
Couture.
Yeah, from Couture's, and then just started going over there, solely and completely. This, like I was talking about, evolving in the sport and things like that. I got to the point where the team aspect of everything is great. Don't get me wrong. But I just felt like I was at a point in my career where it was either shit or get off the pot, because I'm 38 right now, Joey. I'm getting old. I'm an old man when it comes to this sport. Young man in life, but for the sport, I'm getting old, right? So I needed to make a change. I needed to get more focus on Mike Pyle. I needed to get a coaching staff around Mike Pyle, not a Extreme Couture team. It's hard for a coach to walk the floor when there's 20 guys on the floor, and 7 of them are getting ready to fight in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and get that kind of focus and that attention that you need, and that focus and things like that, that you need from your coaches and your coaching staff and things like that. It's hard for a coach to walk the floor and work with 20 guys at the same time, right? But so I've made a change. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hire a coach on for my camp, where every day at this time and this time my people are there. Whether it be 5 people that's on board or whether it be 2 people that's on board, they're right there and they're all about Mike Pyle winning on whatever date it is, and that's what their focus is. And that's what flipped the script for me. I dropped a couple in the UFC, and I was about out. If I would have lost another one, I would have been gone, probably. You know, due to the history of other fighters that it looked like that was, you know, next for me. You know, because you lose too much, then you're not that interesting, and that's just the way it is. It's cutthroat that way. So once I got that focus and I dialed all that in, I made a turnaround in my career, and it was a very needed thing for me, because I'd reached such a point where, Joey, I don't want to go nowhere else. UFC's where it's at, man. I don't want to go anywhere else. That's top of the heap. All those other organizations that are out there, they're great, right? But UFC's where it's at. That's where I fought my ass off to get to, and that's where I'm going to stay until I'm done fighting. I make the decision when I'm done fighting, right? I'm not going anywhere else. So I had to shit or get off the pot. So I did. I made the change, left the team aspect, brought my guys on. If I'm fighting a wrestler, a very, very good wrestler, then I'll hire a guy who is a very good wrestler to come in for my camp for 8 weeks. I'll throw him down a check. I say, here's the check. Does this number work for you? Do you want to come take some time out of your life to help me win that night? If so, here's that check. If not, then, you know, I understand, because that's a big commitment, you know, 6 to 8 weeks gone away from, if it's a family man, he'd be gone. It just doesn't matter, you know, you're out of your home for 6 weeks from anywhere, you know, it's tough. So everybody's got to eat, you know. So break them off. Hey, you want to be part of it? Yes. And the coaches, they're on board already. They know what they're getting. The training partners that I bring in, they know what they're getting. You know, it's a very specific structure that I have now, and it's been great. You know, I dropped a couple of fights here and there, but you know, it's to some bad boys. You know, they're not slouches. You know.
According to Wikipedia, you're 8-2 in the last 10 fights.
Yeah. What do you're 8-2. I was going to say you were 4-1 in the last. I know you went down to Matt Brown, which just went by the blink of a fucking eye. It wasn't like. And I know you beat the fuck out of Story, and there was another one there, and then the one in February. So you were never out of the game, brother. You were always in there. And I know hey, listen, self-criticism, you're talking to Captain fucking self-criticism. I hate myself. So when I go on stage and I miss a joke and I forget, I fucking go back to my room and beat myself up that night, you know, and then the next day I see it's just a joke or whatever. But if you want to keep doing what we're doing, we got to pick this shit up. So, no, you're a fucking savage, brother. 38 is just a fucking number. You look good. You keep, you're light. You haven't taken that many. What did you fight at 170, don't you? Right? 155, 170?
Yeah, 170. Yeah, 170. I probably woke up 187, about 17 pounds over. I never really, I'm not a big guy. I've always been, tall and lanky, so not too big of a welterweight, but right in the middle there, I guess.
And you got heart, man. I see it when you fight. I see it how you walk around. I've known you a couple of years, and I've always loved you. When I found out where you were from, I even loved you more. I love rednecks. That's my dream. I didn't want to be Cuban or I wanted to be a fucking redneck, dog, because then I had an excuse to shoot a motherfucker. You understand me? When you got an American flag on your truck, you got an excuse to shoot a motherfucker. I'm Cuban now. They'll throw me in jail. But,
I got asked is that just to be driving down the road and take a shotgun out the back of you, right off your gun rack out of your truck. Just take it off the rack, step out, shoot whatever the hell it is you're shooting out there, no matter where you're at, ain't nobody gonna hear it, and then put it back in to the truck, visible to everyone. Go to the post office and drop your mail off. Shotgun still sitting right there, and no one blinks an eye or calls the cops because they shit their pants that a guy's got a shotgun in their window.
You know, when I was young, growing up in Jersey, I was I didn't know. I thought Texas was where you went to be a redneck. So I was going to pick up my bags. I loved everything Texas. I loved the Houston Rockets. I liked the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't even know about fucking Tennessee and what was cracking there till I got older. But, you know, I've told you a couple times, my wife is going back in June, and we're definitely getting a house an hour outside of Nashville somewhere. Like, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Do it, buddy. Do it.
I'm really happy. I want to move back there. I want to move closer to her family. You know,
Let that little one grow up and with a yard and all the trees and grow up that way, man.
No, I'm with you. I really like that.
Awesome.
I want property. I don't want to spend, you know, $400,000 and have a fucking neighbor. I want to whack off in the. I want to whack off
That's
in the
what I'm
fucking.
saying.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, with your feet up on the back porch and looking out over the fog rolling through the trees way back in there. Maybe a deer walking by. You'll be in your underwear, just chilling. Maybe, and if you needed to take a piss, you just stand up and piss off the side of your porch.
Oh. I love all that shit. I'm sick and tired of traffic. You know, a couple people, I've said this before, I want to move to Nashville, and I've gotten emails from people that it's very racist. And I'm like, you know what, man? People fucking hate people everywhere. If I don't
Racist?
I don't attract those people, so I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. I don't attract.
What's racist about wanting to move to Nashville?
I know. How the fuck, you know, everywhere you move, there's racism. Everywhere, you know, so it's like, shut the fuck up. I go to Nashville. My wife's best friend is black. They talk every fucking day on the phone. Andrea Bobo. She's in fucking Memphis now. You know, my niece is in New York.
Yeah.
My niece, who just graduated from Bradford, they took him for a 2-week trip. Tonight they're going to a Yankee game, bitch. They're in New York City. She went to see a play.
I mean, there's racism everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I grew up I grew up just out of being dirt poor. Just a little bit higher than that, I guess, wherever that would be. But we were all living together, black folks, white folks, all down in those neighborhoods, man. One of my good friends growing up, his name was Tojo. That was his given name. His name was Tojo. That was my boy. We'd go hunt birds with BB guns every day after school. Wonder what old Tojo's up to nowadays.
Hunting fucking birds with BB guns. You never know, my brother. I'm gonna see you July 18th. All right, you're gonna come with the wife. I'll see you at the South Point. I love you, Mike Powell, and I wish you nothing but luck. I wish you would have done the show earlier. I was always embarrassed to ask you, but you're a fucking great guy, man.
No problem. Anytime that you want me to come on, I'll definitely do it.
I love you, Mike Powell. Have a great week. Give your son a kiss, and I'll see you July 18th with the Flying Jew.
All right.
Say goodbye.
July 18th.
All right, brother. Say goodbye.
Bye, buddy.
All right.
All right, man. Have
All
a
right,
great
later.
week. Thank you. That's a great fucking guy, man. I love him. Every time I see him, you know, he got Eddie Bravo in a movie with Mickey Rourke. They all played prisoners. He's been in movies, Mike Powell.
Wow.
You know, yeah. Mike's a good guy. You know, I'm very fortunate to go to weigh-ins and talk to these guys. And whenever you do comedy shows, they show up and stuff. What's up, Lee Syatt? You're fucking high. What's the problem?
No problem.
Let me just give a shout out.
You squished some of that down. That wasn't just a quarter.
No, stop. What are you gonna do? You're beautiful. It's fucking Monday. What else you got going on today?
I got a lot of shit to do.
What do you got to do?
I'm moving on Thursday and I got to pack.
Okay. What about the walk today? You're gonna take a walk today. You didn't walk yesterday.
What am I supposed to do, dog? You see how high I am?
Listen, you go home, you get your fucking iPod with the Jews jumping up and down, the techno music, and you go for a walk.
That high.
Then you
I almost had a panic attack listening to him talk about people beating each other up in the park. I started thinking about gladiators.
Look at Lee. He's stoned to the gills. This is what I'm talking about, people. Get your shit together. It's Monday, motherfuckers. Who gives a fuck what I'm still thinking? On it for all your fucking needs, for all your supplemental needs. If you're not going to onit.com, he's still giggling, checking out what they got, then you're slipping. You understand me? Onit's got the what do they got? They got the hemp protein. Ooh, they got the alpha brain. Who farted? They got before.
Farts.
No, did you smell that before? It was tremendous.
Oh, I was trying not to.
Anyway, they got the fucking, they got the alpha brain. They got the shroom tech. They got the new mood. Listen, they're fucking cutting edge technology. You feel good. I went to beginner jiu-jitsu Friday night, and I took 2 of those shroom techs, and I'll tell you what, I did phenomenal. The energy it gives you towards the end, I did phenomenal. You feel good. You're breathing better. I'm sorry I'm burping. It's just fucking water. And that edible made me burp. Just go to fucking Onnit.com. From kettlebells to weighted vests to ropes, Onnit is always doing something ahead of everybody else. And I'm not, if you go to all these other health websites, yeah, they're okay and they've got good protein powders and whatnot. Onnit got a money back guarantee. You don't like what they do, you fucking, especially with the Alpha Brain. I mean, who else fucking puts out Alpha Brain? You take a cycle of Alpha Brain, you see how good you feel. You feel alert, you feel alive, your eyes are fuck. What do you smell, the fart or the burp?
No, just like, who else makes Alpha Brain? Only one company. No one else can make Alpha Brain.
Well, what the fuck you talking? This is what I'm saying to you. When it comes to nootropics, Alpha Brain's the motherfucker. Go to Onnit.com. You like what you see? Go to joeydiaz.net. Go to the Onnit Box and Press.
Church.
CHURCH. Get 10% off. Go on the Stay On It program. They'll send you your stuff directly every fucking month, the beginning of the month. You don't got to dilly-dally and get back on the webpage. Just like my people at Dollar Shave Club, those bad motherfuckers. This is the first ingrown hair I've gotten in months, right here. I don't know why. You see that fucking lean? It looks like a fucking pepperoni fucking slice. It's big. I popped it this morning. I woke up, I had a lump on my fucking side. What, bitch? What?
You popped it?
Yeah, I popped it. That's what I told you. I popped it by mistake. I scratched it. I didn't know what it was. But it doesn't matter. Dollar Shave Club, I looked at the blades the other day. I looked at the handle the other day. How good the handle was, the blade. Listen, if you're fucking around, you guys are going down to a supermarket, you got to wait in line, you're spending fucking $20 a month, and that's just on blades and razors alone. Cut this shit. They got a program, $1, $6, and $9. You get to pick what you want for your needs, the tenderness of your beard, whether you want an aloe strip. Go to Dollar Shave Club. Go see what they got to offer. If you like it, go to joeydiaz.net. Go to the Dollar Shave Club box and press in.
Church.
CHURCH. Don't sound so fucking enthusiastic, cocksucker.
I didn't know. I am, because girls can use it too, because Paula stole mine.
That's what I'm saying. And you shave your monkey. It's got a good handle. It's heavy. Your hand won't slip. With those plastic ones, you got no guidance. If there's a burp or you fart, you'll slit your fucking clit. Not with Dollar fucking Shave Club. Go to Dollar Shave Club. Go to the box and press.
Church.
Search CHURCH. You dirty cocksuckers. Always in the world of entertainment, I always try to hook you motherfuckers up. Whether it's razors, whether it's supplements. Let me come at you with my main motherfuckers. Hulu Plus, you can watch the Hulu Plus and so much more. You understand? You got Modern Family, The Daily Show, Scandal, and you can watch every episode of Nashville, Lost, and Doctor Who. You get ad-free movies, and you get kids shows fucking too. You can play them on any computer, smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, Xbox, PlayStation, pretty much any streaming device you got at the fucking house. An iPhone, your foot, your fungi toenail. Hulu Plus is there for you. Go to Hulu Plus, see what they got. If you like what you see, go to Hulu Plus box on joeydiaz.net and press in
Joey,
Joey, you bad motherfucker. And start your program at $7.99 a month, but I'm going to give you 2 weeks off. 2 weeks for free. 2 weeks for free. Who gives you 2 weeks for fucking free? Who? Tell me who. Nobody, motherfuckers. Go to HuluPlus.com. Go to the box and press in
Joey,
Joey. Also, to one of my favorite people in the world. I love Jeremy. I love talking to him on the phone. He always got answers for me. Go to EscapePodTank.com. Let me tell you something. For all your tank needs, look at the shape of this fucking mook. For all your flotation tank needs, whether it's industrial, residential, they ain't fucking around over there. You understand me? You got a question, you call Germany on the 1-800 line. They got the Just the Tank model. If you go over there, tell them I sent you, get $150 off. If you go to any other tank, whether it's commercial or residential, you get $250 off if you mention joeydiaz.net or whatever the fuck you want to mention. Joey Diaz, Lee Giggling. You know, look at this. Look what I got to put up. Look what I got to put up with people. A little piece of fucking Chibo too. He's giggling. He's crying. He's going to walk to Denny's. You're going to walk to Denny's now. You're going to get the two of those fucking 5 packages, aren't you? Anyway, go to EscapePodTank.com. They're tremendous. I hear nothing but great things about them. They'll help you all the way through. Mention Joey Diaz. Mention the church. You get $250 off. But Let me tell you what the best part about it is, man. They're there with you. Customer service is the most important thing with your flotation device. You don't want to get in there and swim in sperm. This stuff is fucking tremendous. If you want to get it in your house, they'll help you. 1-800, call Jeremy. Go to escapepodtank.com, mention the church, and get $250 off. This I got to deal with this fucking... Why are you giggling so much? What's the matter with you? I didn't even say nothing funny. I'm just talking about fucking our sponsors. You got to have a little respect here, Lee. You got to have a little respect. You understand?
You said something very funny.
What'd I say?
You said...
What the fuck is wrong with you? What'd I say, Lee? Look at this TV. And I got to tell you something. I listened to... What, Lee? What?
I don't know. Keep talking.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, keep talking.
I got nothing to say, cocksucker, until you fucking stop giggling. What is it? Ladies and gentlemen, this poor fucking kid is shot to death. You know what's crazy, man? I've been a little fucked up lately. It's amazing how hard it is to really write a book. It really, really is. I got to give props to the people who are authors, anybody who writes a blog. But what's really hard is when you write a biography. I've been hooking up with my little editor, Jessica, who I love dearly.
She's great.
She really is great, and she's really got the language down, and she's a hard worker and whatnot. But the beauty of it is, we sat down this week, and we probably talked to close to 4 hours. We broke down 3 chapters. And I'll tell you something, it sucked the fucking wind out of me all week.
Being that open, or?
Well, being that open, because I had made notes. You just don't. It's not like I just sit there and rattle off shit. I learn. I have to take a week and make little notes about everything I remember about that area, and then I put it all together. And then when I'm putting it together, I remember some other specific thing that was in there.
Okay.
So it takes time. So when I get together with her on Tuesdays, we just sit there and we discuss the chapters, and it's a lot. You know what? You people are gonna get a way better book because she's involved. You're going to get a tremendous book because she's involved, because she's sucking the energy out of me. She's taking these stories out of me. She's asking the questions that you want to know. This is going to be a lot easier than me just writing, because I don't know what you guys want to know. So it dragged me a little bit this week. It really, between that on Tuesday, the live podcast on Thursday, and the show on Thursday in San Diego, and the drive and the fucking cookie and everything.
Yeah.
It really killed me. By Saturday, I was wiped. I didn't know why I was so sore.
Well, you're pretty open with the podcast every week.
I'm open with the podcast, but this is remembering those years is a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare because it takes me there some nights. I have to go there in my heart and feel the desperation. Friday night I stayed home, and I was just about ready to go to bed. 9 o'clock, Hustle and Flow was coming up. And I watched the beginning of it. And Hustle and Flow is about a black guy that has pimps, that has hookers, a white chick and 2 black chicks, and they're all stars today, I guess, in their own way. I mean, this movie was great. It starts off a little slow. I don't know how many years old it is now, 10 years old or whatever. It starts off a little slow, but it gets, it picks up. It picks up in the story, and they start writing. And every character you'll see in this movie you've seen before, including Ludacris. And I don't know what happens. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a part in the movie when I was watching it the other day, and they're sitting there and they're waiting for a client, a trick, and he's writing raps. The pimp is writing raps in his car. There's no air conditioner, and the hooker is a young, pretty girl with no confidence, zero confidence. But she looks over at him and she goes, "Hey, D, I wish I could do something." Just like that. She goes, no, she goes, "I wish I was good at something. I wish I could do something." One of those sentences, and it just destroyed my insides because, again, like watching The Thief a couple weeks ago and seeing what I wanted, the other part of it was that was me. I always felt I was a thief because I couldn't do anything.
Okay.
And I think that's a horrible way to think. I know there's a lot of people that walk around thinking that they can't do something at that age. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. It really is horrible, And even thinking that thought, that I thought that way, took a little wind out of my sails because I can't believe why I thought that way. Boy, was I confused. But if I was confused living, imagine how many other people are confused thinking that they can't do nothing, that they have to settle for a shitty fucking job or settle for something they don't want to do in life. It's so fucking weird. So if you get a chance, watch Hustle and Flow. But if you feel that way sometimes, you have fucking options. Because that's what writing that book reminds me. That's what people are going to see that they write that book. I never, ever wanted to be a fucking celebrity. I still don't consider myself a celebrity. That's a stupid fucking word. You know, and I'm not a movie star, and I'm just a dirty fucking comic. And I sit down with another fucking dirty Jew twice a week, and we talk shit, okay? But we talk the truth, and we talk what's in our heart, and we talk about the things that we do and how it affects us. This podcast is about fucking Lee and his growth. This podcast is about making somebody's day. But this podcast is also about thinking that we can't do something. And I don't want you to think that way no more. Fuck all that shit. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's Monday, motherfuckers. Plain and simple. That's why we ate the edible. That's why we smoked the vapor pens. And that's why we're going to leave here with a smile on our face.
I think I can tell you what was so funny to me.
Well, tell me now without fucking giggling.
You're doing the escape pod tank ad, and you're like, I love calling Jeremy. I love talking to Jeremy on the phone. He always has answers for me. Just that quick line. I love talking to Jeremy.
Sure, he always got answers. Why call a customer service guy if we don't have fucking answers, Lee? You know what I'm saying?
I just imagine like his answers about nothing. It's like
answers. He always got answers.
And next you ask him what the McDonald's cheeseburger was 88 cents.
Yeah. Why call somebody if they ain't got no fucking answers? You know what I'm saying? Have a great fucking week. It's Monday, June 2nd. Like I said, you can do the fuck. Don't ever think you can't do it. Dog, I thought the same fucking way. That hurt my feelings watching that movie. So get up there, grab your fucking balls. Take the little syringe, what's that little sponge? Wash your asshole. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a great day.
Oh, the one wipe Charlie's. I think you meant I think it's
whatever.
syringe.
Even if you just get the fucking towel and you don't have one wipe Charlie's, wash that asshole. Get the barnacles out. It's going to be a good day. Trust me. It started off in doubt, but it's going to be a good day. Stay black. I want to thank all our sponsors: On It, Dollar Shave Club, Hulu Plus, Escape Pod Tank. Thank you for a beautiful Monday. Have a great day. See you Wednesday. We haven't decided on what time. It will not be a morning one. Have a fucking great day. Stay black. A little something from my people from New Jersey, 10th Avenue. Freeze out. Stay black.
Now that the show's over, don't forget to sign up for your free trial of Hulu Plus. Hulu Plus lets you binge on thousands of hit shows anytime, anywhere on your TV, PC, smartphone, or tablet. Support this podcasting and an extended free trial of Hulu Plus when you go to huluplus.com/Joey or go to joeydiaz.net and click on the Hulu Plus banner. And don't forget to sign up for dollarshaveclub.com. Get high-quality razors sent to your door every month for a fraction of what you pay at retail. Now go to dollarshaveclub.com/church or just go to joeydiaz.net and click on the Dollar Shave Club banner.